A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all old-time radio.
Pepsi-Cola, P-E-P-S-I, that's your smartest cola buy. Pepsi-Cola presents Counterspy.
Washington calling David Harding, Counterspy. Washington calling David Harding, Counterspy.
Harding, Counterspy, calling Washington.
United States Counterspies, especially appointed to investigate and combat the enemies of our country, both at home and abroad. Tonight, the case of the visiting Vultures. Another Counterspy report to the American people. Brought to you each Tuesday and Thursday by Pepsi-Cola.
Pepsi-Cola, it's a spot. 2 full glasses, that's a lot.
That's right, you heard what they said. 2 full glasses of sparkling Pepsi from one big 12-ounce bottle. You're getting an extra glassful. And what a delicious glassful. The most refreshing, delightful cola that ever tickled your taste. You can't top Pepsi's tangy flavor. And that big, big bottle saves you money, goes twice as far. Pepsi's America's big, big favorite. And America's biggest cola value. So why take less when Pepsi's best? Whenever you reach for refreshment, remember.
Why take less when Pepsi's best?
And now, to Counterspy. In a conference room in Counterspy headquarters in Washington, David Harding addresses a group of men around a long, shiny table.
Gentlemen, I'm honored by the presence here of the governors of the several southern states covered by our Counterspy districts 9, 10, and 11. We realize that your state administrations are faced with a large criminal operation, selling illegally made alcohol and evading federal taxes.
Peters, those figures, please. Yes, Mr. Harding. District 9, estimated tax loss, $221,000. District 10, $400,000. District 11, over $500,000.
Now, gentlemen, we don't yet know what gang makes that alcohol or where it's made, but all over your states, Counterspy squads are moving into action.
Here comes the truck, boys. Don't let it get by. It's loaded with 1-gallon corn syrup cans. That's what we're looking for.
Okay, buddy, pull up. United States Counterspy.
This is the place. It's a dance hall and cabin. They won't open up for us.
All right, men. Smash down that door.
Coming fast, but it's got to be stopped. If the truck doesn't stop, blast the tires. Get those tires!
So far, gentlemen, no useful leads have been obtained from truck drivers, tavern keepers, and others taken in these Counterspy raids. One lead of possible value has been found, however. My assistant, Harry Peters, is leaving tonight to investigate it in Chicago.
Hey, buddy, I'm looking for the main office of the famous Flanagan Sisters Corn Syrup Company. Is it in here?
No, this is only the garage. The office is in that snazzy little building right across the street.
Anybody here? Excuse me.
Yeah, Buster, what'll it be?
I was looking for a secretary or a receptionist or something.
That little blonde dame there, usually. What's your problem?
I want to find out something about the famous Flanagan sisters.
Why, Buster?
I'm Harry Peters, United States Counterspy.
Well, Peters, I got news for you. I'm the famous Flanagan sisters.
You're the famous Flanagan sisters? All of them?
Yeah, it's only a trade name, and I bought the business a couple of years ago. My name's Hype Gordon. Sit down.
Thank you, Mr. Gordon. You believe in large offices?
Why not? I spend half my life here.
Is this one of your cans of syrup?
A sample, yeah. That label, that is a portrait of the original Flanagan sisters bending over a hot stove, making their corn syrup according to a receipt handed down from mother to daughters. Between you and me, the daughter should have handed it back.
Tell me, do you know what happens to your used cans?
Why?
Well, do you take them back, for instance?
Like milk bottles, you mean? No. Why?
A lot of them seem to be used for shipping illegal alcohol around the country. Labels ripped off, of course.
My cans where?
Into the so-called monopoly states where liquor is sold only by state-owned liquor stores. Bootleg liquor undersells those stores very profitably because somebody forgets to pay the federal alcohol taxes. We figure around $3 million on this particular operation alone.
Oh, you trace those cans to me.
Mm-hmm. Through the manufacturer.
You want to look around the place, Peter? I'll show you where we make the syrup and can it. 50, 60 employees I got. I'll even show you the garage where we ship it out to stores and wholesalers. Maybe I'll even give you a couple of cans to take home to the little woman. Come on. This way. Hello, Milky.
Yeah. That you, Mr. Gordon?
Listen, Counterspy, there's nothing around my plant here.
Counterspy? Holy fish.
So don't send any more trucks here from the still till you get word from me.
Yeah. Mr. Gordon, you had 3 trucks loaded and ready to roll out of your garage, didn't you?
I got 'em out fast. So sit tight, Milky, and we'll be okay.
Yeah.
Peters to Harding in Washington. No evidence whatever at Hype Gordon's syrup plant to connect it or him with illegal alcohol manufacture. However, have sent agents to trail 3 loaded trucks that left his garage while I was there. Gordon himself also under surveillance. Has 3 cars, including limousine with French chauffeur. Lives in most expensive apartment hotel in Chicago, swarming with uniformed flunkies. Gordon's rental at least $15,000 a year for lavishly furnished penthouse apartment.
Hey, Sleeping Beauty.
Oh.
Wake up, sweetheart. Lover boy.
Oh, hi. What are you doing?
Working, what else? It's only 12:30, Benny. Say, we got any bologna?
You fell asleep on a divan waiting for you. Must be love. What's the matter?
The famous Flanagan sisters and Uncle Sam.
Holy smokes. That?
I'm not sure yet.
But there's no time for you to get in trouble, lover boy. I still need that second mean coat. Oh.
Hey, I asked you if we got any bologna and pumpernickel.
Oh, yeah. Hi. Here we are, living in the most expensive apartment hotel in Chicago. And I have to keep bologna and pumpernickel in the icebox for you.
Refrigerator. What's the matter with bologna?
It is so crude. If it was only frog's legs and wine or something. But it's bologna and pumpernickel.
Thanks.
Huh.
How's something?
Please. Hi. How tough is it with Uncle Sam?
No. I figure as long as they don't find out where my still is, they can't tie me up to it.
Oh.
I'm just going to sit around and smile, and after a while the counterspies will figure I'm an innocent victim and go away.
Oh, holy smoke, how's somebody at the door without being announced? Maybe it's Counterspy.
You go on down the hall to the bedroom. Stay there. Go on.
Let me know what happened.
Yeah?
Well, hiya, Hype. Well, say, you look just exactly the way I thought you would. Yes, sir. Not one hair out of place. Press the flesh, Hype, old boy. It's good to see you.
Who the hell are you? Let go of my hand, will you? How'd you get past the doorman?
Oh, my, yes. Hey, look, do you mind if I grab my suitcase right here? I'm Sam.
Sam?
Yeah, Sam Vandervoort. Your wife's brother, Sam.
Sam?
Yeah.
Oh, Sam. Well, how are you?
Oh, great, Hype, great, just great. You see, I hopped the rattle out of St. Louis early today. Made up my mind to hit for the Windy City. For a decent job. I need scope, Hype, and there ain't no scope in St. Louis. And, just between you and me, I come on ahead of Gladys so I could sneak in a couple of hot nightclubs,
Gladys, coming too.
Oh, sure. You see, we thought it was about time we met the man my little sister Vinnie married last year. Hey, you got a mighty classy joint around here. Kind of small, though, ain't it?
There's only Vinnie and me. She's back, I better tell you.
Oh, no, hold it. Don't bother, Hype, don't bother. It's late and I could bed down right here. Uh-oh. Hey, ain't this one of them sofas that opens up into a bed? Ain't it, huh? Is it big enough for two?
What?
Well, Gladys and I wouldn't want inconveniencing that. We'll be mighty comfortable right here in the living room.
You mean you couldn't get rooms in a hotel? I can work it for you.
Hotel, Hype? When I got relatives I'm as fond of it like you and Vinnie, I wouldn't dream of hurting their feelings by going to no hotel. Bologna and pumpernickel, huh? Good.
Yeah. Only I'm sorry there's no frog's legs.
Oh, don't feel bad about that, Hype. I love bologna and pumpernickel.
To Counterspy Field Office, Chicago. Surveillance report concerning the trucks followed from famous Flanagan Sisters Corn Syrup Company garage. They proceeded south by various routes to make deliveries to 18 illegal liquor users. They are being kept under observation. Relay this report to Mr. Harding in Counterspy Plane 1 en route Chicago.
Dave, I'm sure glad you're here in Chicago. This new development nails it right to Hype Gordon. He himself ships out alcohol under cover of shipping out corn syrup.
But where is the alcohol made? I see only one thing to do, Peters. Pull a new series of raids on his customers in the southern districts that might scare him into revealing where his still's located.
This tavern is being padlocked for violation of the law. Watch those rear windows. They're trying to get away. All right, step on it, Jack. We'll be late for the next raid.
The
shooting at it. Blast the lock off that door.
Hello, Milky.
Hey, Hype! Hype, for the love of Mike, you better come out here to the still. Take it apart or something. Hey, you know about all these new Counterspy raids?
Listen, Milky, they can raid every joint in the country. Won't mean nothing to us so long as they don't locate the still. And they won't so long as I don't go there so the Counterspies can tail me. You just keep your head down and sit tight.
Yeah. Sit tight. We ought to do something.
No. This was another mob muscling in or something like those West Side guys 2 years ago. I'd go after them with guns. This has to be played close to the vest.
Okay, Mr. Gordon. Suppose I have to call you later tonight. You home?
Home? I can't go home till way later. My brother-in-law's visiting us. What a schmo.
So throw him out.
I can't throw him out. My wife sticks up for us. I'm nuts about my wife. Then there's my sister-in-law, Gladys. She's tall and skinny. She talks and talks and talks and talks.
And I never dream of mentioning it, Vinny. Only after all, you're my sister-in-law. And you know how Sam would never say a word unless he was sure.
Gladys, you said just now that he wasn't sure.
Well, after all, a wife ought to know how her husband earns his money. And after all, you only knew Hype 3 weeks before you married.
I know, Gladys, and Sam was always good to me. Especially after Pop died back home. But that doesn't give him or you the right to criticize Hype. I'm nuts about Hype.
Well, all Sam said was that he didn't think the famous Flanagan Sisters corn syrup company was very successful. And still, you and Hype have 3 cars, and you got 4 closets full of clothes, and that diamond ring. And then yesterday, Sam followed Hype around the city, and Hype didn't go anywhere near any customers.
Sam's been cleaning. I mean, snooping around after Hype. Oh, that's contemptible. Oh, Hype? Lover boy? You're awfully late.
A lot of work coming. All right.
Hello.
Benny, I'm going to have some bologna and pumpernickel. Where's Sam?
In the kitchen, having some bologna and pumpernickel.
Time to hit the hay, Benny.
Yeah. Good night, Gladys.
Good night, Benny. Good night, honey.
Benny, the guy drives me nuts.
Ooh.
Oh, Sam. And Gladys. Now, listen, sweetheart, how about kicking them out?
Well, he won't be staying much longer.
What do you mean, 2 years?
Now, lover boy.
They drive me nuts. They're always in the way. They sleep on the sofa.
Dive in.
Borrows my shirts. He's my bologna and pumpernickel.
Yeah.
It's getting so the only pleasure I have at home. Just taking off my shoes.
I can't throw Sam and Gladys out, lover boy. They're all the family I got left.
Benny and my customers down south got raided.
Oh.
I need a clear head, Vinny, and that schmo brother of yours gets me so mad I can't think straight. Listen, you know, I'll do something dumb. And, honey, it'll be his fault. I'll murder the guy.
Not so loud.
Where are my pajamas? Sam got my pajamas?
On the pillow. Hype, I guess this is no time for you to be upset, and I better tell you instead of you finding it out.
Find out what?
Well, Sam follows you around.
What?
No.
He follows me around. Sam, that iron-headed clam digger? I'll brain him now, so help me. Where the Sam Hill of my slippers? I suppose he's got them, too.
Hype, lover boy. Now, please don't make a scene. I'll get rid of them both by Saturday, I promise. Please, lover boy. Please.
In just a moment, we'll return to Counterspy, brought to you by Pepsi-Cola.
Pepsi-Cola, hits the spot. 2 full glasses, that's a lot. Lot more value, lot more zest. Why take less when Pepsi's best?
More and more, among fellows and girls, among mothers and dads, you hear that same and sensible question. Why take less when Pepsi's best? No budget, no allowance ever had a better friend than tangy, sparkling Pepsi-Cola. Because one big 12-ounce Pepsi bottle gives you 2 delicious drinks. That's twice as much tangy taste, twice as much delicious Pepsi to go just twice as far. That's why more and more families say, why take less when Pepsi's best? Yes, families like yours and mine. Families all over America. They're all saying, why take less when Pepsi's best?
Pepsi-Cola, it's a spot, tastes terrific when you're hot, more and better than the rest. Why take less when Pepsi's best?
Today, tomorrow, always. Get America's biggest cola value. Take home a carton of 6 big Pepsi bottles. Insist on Pepsi at the store. And say Pepsi at the fountain. Say Pepsi at the stand. Say Pepsi. Whenever you reach for refreshment, remember,
why take less when Pepsi's best?
And now, back to Counterspy.
Peter, I've been studying the surveillance reports on Hype Gordon.
Yeah, me too, Dave.
He hasn't made a single betraying move. It's great. We smash his customers, stop the tax losses. We know he ships out the alcohol. But what we don't know is where's that still.
On the moon, maybe.
Well, I've got one notion that might be useful. Did you notice in these reports about Hype Gordon's brother and sister-in-law visiting him?
And driving him crazy, yes.
Peter's relatives and in-laws often make trouble for decent people. Why not trouble for crooks, too? I think this Mr. Sam Vandervoort might be a lot of help to us, with a push from you.
And Sam, maybe I shouldn't have said anything about you following Hype around, but it just sort of popped out.
Oh, well, Gladys, it don't make no difference. I couldn't find anything out anyway. I guess we'll have to go back to St. Louis Saturday, maybe. Where are they tonight, Hype and Vinny?
I don't know. We got the apartment all to ourselves, and I must say it's a relief to have a little privacy. Oh, somebody's at the door. You go, Sam, and if it's a telegram or anything for Hype, you better open it in case it's important.
Yeah?
Says Hype in? Hype Gordon?
No, he's not. Did I give him a message?
You a friend of his?
No, I'm his brother-in-law.
Oh, well, give him this message, will you? Rush. Tell him to get out to the still right away.
Get out to the still right away? What name will I tell him?
He'll know where the message is from. So long.
Who was it, Sam? Telegram or special delivery? Sam, I asked you a question. Why don't you answer me? Sam, something's happened. I can always tell by your face whenever you got an idea. Now, why don't you tell me?
What?
I said, I was saying, Sam,
shut up, will you? I'm trying to think. Vinny, it's me. Sam. Gladys? Oh, well, nobody. Yeah?
Hi, this is Vinny. Where have you been?
To the athletic club, like I told you. Where are you?
I drove Sam out here. Only the minute we got here and told Milky, he got all excited and ran away. All the other men, too.
Milky. The other man. Vinny, are you at the still? With Sam?
I couldn't help it. The minute Sam told me about the message he got. We couldn't find you and we didn't dare wait.
Vinny, I don't know what's going on, but I'm going to kill somebody for it. Don't move. Don't do anything. I'll come right out.
Hype. You don't have to yell at me. I was only trying to help.
Help? Help? You and Sam together. You've made me do the one thing I swore I'd never do. Come out to this still so I could be tailed.
Hype, you got me and Vinny all wrong about
Sam, you shut up. Now, what'd you bring that idiot along for, too?
Me?
Gladys?
Look, all of you. I'm trying to find a hand on this, on what happened. Now, what happened?
Well, Well, while we were out, you and me, that is, Hype.
A guy come to the door with a message for you to get out to the still right away.
A guy? What guy?
Well, I thought he was sent by Milky.
Milky wouldn't send a guy phone. And so you came out here. Sam, what did you butt in?
Now, Hype, you'd better listen to what I got to say.
Tell him, Sam.
Gladys, you shut up or I'll brain you. All right, let's have it, Sam.
All right. You think I'm a chowderhead, don't you? But I figured out right from the start you had a racket, and the minute that guy talked about a still, I was sure of it.
So
I want a job. Here, working for you. Or at the famous Flanagan Sisters Corn Syrup Company. Or else I talk.
Sam! You told me you only wanted to help, Hype.
Shut up, Penny. You'll talk, Sam. To the counterspies. Oh, Bright Eyes, you listen to me.
Now, hold your horses, Hype. Just give me a job and I won't talk.
Talk, you big baboon, you! That message wasn't for Milky. It was a counterspy gag, a trap, and you walked into it. I gotta walk into it, too, to get you out. Give me a job, he says. Give me a job, you rockhead. I might be out of business altogether before morning.
Oh, Hype.
I don't buy all that hype. You can't brush me off that easy.
What? Vinny, go on out to the car. Stay there. We may have to leave fast. I'll douse all the lights in here. Sam, you win. You and Gladys, come on with me. I'll show you something. See, Sam? What my flashlight shows now? The alcohol's made upstairs. From here, through this cellar, the alcohol gets piped to my corn syrup factory. Our pipeline runs 2 miles in an abandoned sewer we found.
Gosh, what a setup. Hype, I sure gotta hand it to you, fella. Huh, Gladys?
Yeah, it's remarkable.
Sam, how would you like to stay here?
Work here?
Sam, he's up to something. Hype, you take us out of this cellar this minute.
Yeah, Hype. Let's talk about it outside.
We'll talk right here. I don't believe there was any message. You rushed Vinny off her feet. Now you want to sneak out and squeal on me. You rotten counter-spy stool.
What, me? You're crazy, Hype.
Get it out!
Hype, you have to go over. I'll go.
Now, Sam will be quiet. You stay here with him, Gladys.
It'll be dark. No air. We'll die down here, you murdering.
So long, both of you. For good.
Hi.
Vinny, why aren't you outside like I told you?
Oh, the same cars all around. I get scared. It's so dark and creepy here.
Cars? Holy smoke, we got to get out of here.
We can't leave Sam and Gladys.
Never mind them. Come on, there's a side door.
But Sam and Gladys... Oh, it's all right. There they are.
What?
Oh, that doorway over there from the cellar where you were just saw a flashlight. Sam! Gladys, over here!
Gordon, Mrs. Gordon, stand where you are. Counterspy, Gordon.
Vinny, what's that?
Oh, good, Gordon, drop the gun. Look out. Stop resisting, Gordon. The entire building's surrounded.
I don't want to get hurt.
That's better. Handcuffs for Gordon, Peters. With pleasure. Gordon, you and all of your men are under arrest for making and selling illegal alcohol. Just now as we came in, we found Sam Vandervoort and his wife in the cellar. You'll be charged with their attempted murder.
Hey, you didn't.
Sam's a dirty stool pigeon.
Oh.
He was working for the counterspies. My own brother-in-law.
You're wrong, Gordon. We only tricked him to trick you into leading us here to your still. Now your entire racket's smashed. All right, Peters, have these people held outside. And we'll start taking this place apart.
When your friends drop in, be generous, but be thrifty, too. Serve plenty of delicious Pepsi-Cola. Pepsi's big 12-ounce bottle gives you not just one sparkling glassful, but 2. Get a carton of 6 and serve 12 delicious drinks. Yes, Pepsi is America's biggest cola value. You get twice the tangy taste, twice the refreshment, twice the Pepsi. So why take less when Pepsi is best? Whenever you reach for refreshment, remember,
Pepsi-Cola hits the spot. 2 full glasses, that's a lot. Lot more value, lot more zest. Why take less when Pepsi's best?
tune in every Tuesday and Thursday, same time, same station to Counterspy. Listen on Thursday for the exciting Counterspy case of the Vicious Visitor.
Tangling with the criminal I call the Vicious Visitor was dangerous for all concerned. For his prison guards, it meant a beating in the dark. For his partner, bullets. And for the woman who had once known him, it meant death for her husband, death for herself. I invite you to be tuned in on Thursday to
Case of the Vicious Visitor on Counterspy. Tonight's Counterspy program originated in New York, was directed by Leonard L. Bass, dramatized by Paul Milton, and featured Don McLaughlin and Mandel Kramer, with music by Jesse Crawford. Counterspy is a Phillips H. Lord production for Pepsi-Cola. Enjoy some Pepsi ice cold tonight. Pepsi-Cola, P-E-P-S-I. That's your smartest cola buy. Pepsi-Cola presents Counterspy.
Washington calling David Harding, Counterspy. Washington calling David Harding, Counterspy.
Harding, Counterspy, calling Washington.
United States Counterspy is specially appointed to investigate and combat the enemies of our country, both at home and abroad.
Tonight, the case of the Vicious Visitor. Another Counterspy report to the American people. Brought to you each Tuesday and Thursday by Pepsi-Cola.
Pepsi-Cola hits the spot. 2 full glasses, that's a lot.
That's right, you heard what they said. 2 full glasses of sparkling Pepsi from one big 12-ounce bottle. You're getting an extra glassful. And what a delicious glassful. The most refreshing, delightful cola that ever tickled your taste. You can't top Pepsi's tangy flavor. And that big, big bottle saves you money, goes twice as far. Pepsi's America's big, big favorite. And America's biggest cola value. So why take less when Pepsi's best? Whenever you reach for refreshment, remember,
Why take less when Pepsi's best?
And now, to Counterspy. A penitentiary, its high, thick walls looming black in the darkness. Inside, a sudden flood of searchlights illuminates every corner. Gates clang shut, and a siren wails frighteningly into the night.
Attention all posts. Special alert. Block all exits. This is Warden Dean. Prisoner 196523, Rocky Gaines. Escaped from prison workshop 3 minutes ago. Block all exits. And be careful. Gaines is armed. He's a psychotic murderer and will shoot to kill.
Rocky? Yeah, I made it. You got the clothes?
Yeah, in the car.
All right.
You can change on the way. The
Yeah.
sounds are getting closer.
Come on, let's get going. Oh, thank God, Al. Where's the car? I ran standard for you, Rocky. Road cuts through this swamp just a few feet ahead. Guards are getting closer, Rocky. I got this far out. I'll get the rest of the way. I hope. There's the car. Vultures in the back seat. You can change it. What? Rocky, I'm hit. A couple of shots might hold him off a minute. Al, come on, get in the back, quick.
Can't move.
All right, come on, I'll help you in. Come on. Give up. Rocky, you ain't got a chance. Give up. No chance, huh? I got this far. You watch me get the rest of the way.
To David Harding, Chief, United States Counterspies, Washington. From Warden Deans, Alderlander Federal Penitentiary, Maxton City. Rocky Gaines, serving time here for armed bank robbery, made successful break 5 p.m. this date. After gun battle with prison search squad in nearby swamp, Gaines and unidentified companion made getaway in black Buick sedan.
Rocky, where you driving it? We gotta ditch this car, Al. These woods are as good a spot as any. Rocky, them bump. Every time you hit a bump, it kills me. I'm all shot up. Oh, they got money on the two. You don't hear me yapping, do you? Hurts, Rocky. It hurts. Yeah. Oh. Okay, we'll leave the jalopy here. Come on, Al. Get out of that back seat. Out, I said. We gotta keep moving. Yeah, Rocky, I swear. Down to my leg, mate. Can't move. Rocky, I'll wait here for you. What do you mean, wait? You gotta get me a doc, Rocky. Please. Rocky, a doc's the only one that can help me. Oh, sure. Doc, I'll say, come with me and help my pal. He got shot helping me break out of the pen. Sure, you come running. You gotta do something. I can't take it. It's like a fire inside of me. You're my pal. You gotta do something. Okay, Al, I'll do something for you. Rocky, that gun. What's the idea? I told you I'd do something, didn't I? This'll put you out of your misery. Rocky, don't. You're gonna die anyway. I'm doing you a favor. Don't pull that trigger. So long, Al. Wait. See you around. Rocky,
David Harding, Washington, from Conway, now at Albany Field Office. Black Buick sedan used by Rocky Gaines in prison break, found in woods 16 miles north of here. Bullet-riddled body of unidentified man found in back seat. For identification, I'm forwarding fingerprints, bullets removed from body, and blood samples. Go ahead, Chief.
Harding, Washington, to Conway, Albany. Identification reports that fingerprints of the dead man are those of Alvin Troy, alias Al Trojan, formerly a sidekick of Rocky Gaines. We're working on blood samples you forwarded in the laboratory. How's it coming, Dr. Lawson?
Well, I finished the blood test, Mr. Harding.
And?
Well, have a look. This microscope first.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that's a specimen of the blood we found in the rear seat of the getaway car. Type O.
The dead man, Al Trojan, had type O.
Yes, sir. Now, look at the specimen under this other microscope. See, that's a smear we got from the front seat of the car.
That's different.
It certainly is. Type B blood.
Which means that the man driving the getaway car was Rocky Gaines. And he must have been wounded by the prison guards, too.
Undoubtedly.
Well, Dr. Lawton, when the other reports are completed, let me know. I'll be back in my office with Harry Peters. And the lab test, Peters, proved that the bloodstains on the front and rear seats of the car were of different types. Now, what did ballistics dig up about the bullets in Trojan's body?
Something even more interesting, Dave. Of the 5 slugs probed out of Al Trojan's body, only 2 were .30 caliber. The other 3 were .45s.
What?
Yes, sir. And the prison guards used .30 caliber rifles.
And we know that Rocky Gaines was armed with a revolver, undoubtedly a .45.
Nice boy, Rocky Gaines.
This means he murdered his own partner.
Rocky must have figured that Al Trojan, wounded, was a dead weight on his hands. And dead men tell no tales, especially to the police.
Well, from all we know about Gaines, this doesn't surprise me, Peter. According to the prison reports, Gaines is a psychotic finger type, a purely emotionless killer without normal human contact.
Special coming in on the radio, Dave.
Harding, go ahead.
Conway, Mr. Harding. I'm in Tannersville. I got a lead on Rocky Gaines.
Let's have it.
Less than an hour ago, a motorist picked up a hitchhiker on a back road 20 miles from here. And then at gunpoint, the driver was forced out of his car and left high and dry.
The driver identifies the hitchhiker as Rocky Gaines?
Positively.
What direction did he drive off?
North.
All right, Conway. From now on, we'll use Tannersville as the focal point of our operation. Set up an emergency base for us there.
Right, Chief.
Why Tannersville, Dave?
Look at this map, Peters. Here's Tannersville, the last large town this side of those mountains. Now, you heard Conway. Rocky was driving north.
Which means he's probably headed into the mountains,
Right. And with the local police, we'll set up blocks at every intersection of those mountain roads. Rocky may get into those mountains, but he has at least one bullet wound. Sooner or later, he'll have to get help up there, or come out for it. And when he does, we'll have to be close by, or some innocent people may get killed.
Norma, this boat engine sounds kind of peculiar to me.
Oh, Cliff, there isn't a thing wrong with a boat, and you know it.
Well, it still sounds funny. I can't put my finger
Now,
on the
darling, you're just looking for another excuse to take the motor apart again. Now, isn't that it?
Trouble with you, Mrs. Benton, is you know too darn much about me.
Well, now, imagine a husband admitting that.
Hey, you're running inside into the jetty.
Oh, I am. I'm sorry.
All right, I'll bring it in easy. Yeah. That's it. Okay, kill the motor.
Huh?
This is a nice landing.
Thank you.
Anything special you want in town, Norma?
No. Oh, yes, Cliff. Will you stop by Jane Tompkins and ask if she heard anything about that material I ordered?
Jane Tompkins material. Anything else?
Not a thing. I'll be back to pick you up here at 12.
All right, honey. Here at the jetty at 12.
Bye.
Nice boat you got there, lady.
Oh, thanks. My husband takes a lot of pride in it.
Looks like things turned out okay for you, Norma.
What?
What's the matter, Norma? Don't you remember me? An old friend like me? Take another look.
Rocky Gaines.
Yeah, it's been a long time, huh, baby? How many years? 15? Still don't look a day over 20.
What are you doing here?
You don't look so glad to see your old friend, Rocky. You and me used to get along swell in the old days, remember? Norma and Rocky? Quite a pair.
What do you want, Rocky?
For old time's sake, baby, just a little favor.
What kind of a favor?
I happened to be in the neighborhood, and I remember hearing that after you left town, you come up here and made yourself a square. Some guy who runs duck hunting blinds out on that island on a lake.
Yes, we live there, Cliff and I.
I figured that island's just about the right place for me to lay low a while till the heat's off. Well, what do you say, Norma, baby? For old time's sake?
I'm sorry, Rocky.
I got a slug in my shoulder. I need a doc to take care of it. I got a healthy wad of dough. You'll get nice room and board.
No, I won't do it, Rocky. I can't. I'll just pretend that you weren't here. But I didn't see you.
You pretend, huh?
It's the best I can do, Rocky.
The best you can do? Now, you listen to me. I'm wise to your setup, baby. Nobody around here is supposed to know what you were before you came here. You're a nice, sweet lily of the valley in these parts,
Rocky, I've changed. I'm different.
Norma, baby. That character Cliff who got out of that boat a few minutes ago. You two looked awful happy from where I was standing. Ever tell your husband about the old days, Norma? About yourself and Rocky Gaines? No, I guess you didn't. Now, you wouldn't want to spoil everything and make Mr. Benton unhappy, would you?
Of all the places in the world, why did you have to come here?
Baby, I knew you'd come through for an old friend. Oh. Now, after you take me over to your island, you call the town doctor and tell him there was a gun accident.
But, Cliff, what will I tell Cliff?
Just tell your husband that an old friend named Steve Evans is staying for a visit. Now, turn that motor over, baby. Let's get out to that island fast.
Harding, go ahead.
This is Conway, Mr. Harding. We've just located a car stolen by Rocky Gaines. It's lying at the bottom of a ravine, completely wrecked.
What about Rocky?
No trace of him, Chief.
What's the location, Conway?
Just off a dirt road called Elder Lane, 9 miles south of Crystal Lake.
All right, Conway, we'll head that way. Better step on the seat.
Right, Dave. We'll have to turn onto Route 16A for Crystal Lake.
Crystal Lake.
It means Rocky's still moving north.
Yes. Without a car, he's going to be slowed down.
Dave, now we can start closing in on Rocky Gaines from all sides.
Yes, and let's hope we get him before any innocent bystanders excite his murder-mad mind.
In just a moment, we'll return to Counterspy, brought to you by Pepsi-Cola.
Pepsi-Cola hits the spot. 2 full glasses, that's a lot. Lots more value, lots more zest. Why take less when Pepsi's best?
More and more, among fellows and girls, among mothers and dads, you hear that sane and sensible question. Why take less when Pepsi's best? No budget, no allowance ever had a better friend than tangy, sparkling Pepsi-Cola. Because one big 12-ounce Pepsi bottle gives you 2 delicious drinks. That's twice as much tangy taste. Twice as much delicious Pepsi to go just twice as far. That's why more and more families say, why take less when Pepsi's best? Yes, families like yours and mine, families all over America, they're all saying, why take less when Pepsi's best?
Pepsi-Cola hits the spot. Tastes terrific when you're hot. More and better than the rest. Why take less when Pepsi's best?
Today, tomorrow, always. Get America's biggest cola value. Take home a carton of 6 big Pepsi bottles. Insist on Pepsi at the store. And say Pepsi at the fountain. Say Pepsi at the stand. Say Pepsi. Whenever you reach for refreshment, remember,
why take less when Pepsi's best?
Now, back to Counterspy. David Harding and his assistant, Harry Peters, looking for the escaped federal prisoner and murderer, Rocky Gaines, are now in the office of a Dr. Raymond Vincent in the town of Greendale on the shore of Crystal Lake.
Dr. Vincent, this is my assistant, Harry Peters.
How do you do, Mr. Peters?
Dr. Vincent. Well, now, if you will tell us the story, Doctor.
Well, of course, Mr. Harding, it can't have any bearing on your case, but that man of yours who stopped by here was so dead set in my telling you.
Well, please go ahead, Dr. Vincent.
Well, it was like this. Now, yesterday morning, the phone rings. It's Norma Benton, place over on Mallard Island.
Mallard Island?
That's a big island a few miles out in the lake. It's called Mallard on account it's a dandy spot for duck hunters. Matter of fact, it's the best darn spot in the state. Cliff Benton and his wife Norma are the only ones who live on Mallard. Cliff keeps the duck blinds in repair. County pays for it, you know. It brings business here.
Well, Doctor, what about Mrs. Benton's telephone call?
Well, it seems Norma Benton's got a friend that came to visit. Friend's name is, it wasn't it. I have it here on the card. Evans, that's what it is. Steve Evans.
Steve Evans. And then, Doctor?
Well, it seems Norma was showing this Steve Evans fella some of Cliff's guns. And one of the darn things goes off, and this friend is shot right smack in the shoulder. You have quite a few accidents like that up here. You know, you've got to be careful with firearms.
Doctor, do you have the bullet you extracted?
Well, we usually do, you know, but this friend of Norma Benton's, what in tarnation was his name? I got it here on the card.
Evans. Steve Evans.
That's it, Evans, yeah. You've got a good memory, son.
Well, this Steve Evans tells me he'd like to keep the bullet for a souvenir of his visit to Crystal Lake. Some folks are kind of funny that way, you know. I once knew a fellow...
Well, Doctor, we won't take up any more of your time. Thank you very much.
Well, you're entirely welcome. I suppose I wasn't of much help to you, though.
Well, you never can tell, Doctor. Goodbye.
Goodbye, gentlemen.
What do you think, Dave?
I'll bet you my pension that the Benton's visitor is Rocky Gaines. Hop in, Peter. Harding to Conway in Master Control car.
Conway to Harding, standing by.
Believe we've located Rocky Gaines on Mallard Island in Crystal Lake. Have all mobile squads in area report to me at Lake Shore town of Greendale. That is all.
The wind-up, Dave?
Well, not just yet, Peters. I'm interested in Norma and Cliff Benton.
Why should they protect and harbor a criminal? Suppose they don't know who he really is?
Well, in that case, those two are in terrible danger. Rocky Gaines is a pathological killer. If we make any hasty move, he might murder them.
That's true.
On the other hand, the doctor told us that Steve Evans was an old friend of Mrs. Norma Benton. Peters, before we close in on Mallard Island, I want a complete checkup on Norma Benton. Then we'll know how to handle this capture.
That was a real swell dinner, Mrs. Benton.
Norma's my favorite cook, Mr. Evans.
You're lucky to have a wife like her.
Yes, don't I know it. But Norma, dear, you haven't said a word all evening. Is there something wrong?
No.
You hardly ate anything, did you?
I wasn't very hungry, Cliff.
Something on your mind, maybe, Mrs. Benton?
No, there is nothing on my mind.
Norma, dear, something is bothering me. Now, you haven't been all right for the past few days. What is it, dear?
I'm all right, Cliff. How many times do I have to tell you I'm perfectly all right? Now let me alone.
Norma, wait.
I just want to be let alone.
Norma! Looks like I maybe started something, Mr. Benton.
No, it's not your fault, Mr. Evans. Only I can't understand what's gotten into her. She was always so happy here, you know, on the island. It's such a safe, peaceful place.
Yeah, Mr. Benton. This island's about the safest place I've ever been in my life.
All right, Scott. Thanks very much. Peters, you get all that on the extension?
All of it, Dave. Mrs. Norma Benton, formerly Norma Marcy, entertainer at the Black Grotto in Bayside from 1931 to 1934. An old flame of Rocky Gaines. That undoubtedly means Mrs. Benton is giving help to Rocky.
Yes, Peters. She's hiding him. Now we know how to handle this.
Yes, I'm Norma Benton. What is it?
I've been waiting for you to come over here from the island.
But who are you?
Agent Harry Peters, United States Counterspies. Come with me, please.
And that's the story, Mr. Harding. Rocky Gaines forced himself on me. I had to take him in.
You had to? Why?
Because I didn't want Cliff. That's my husband to find out what I was once. I didn't want to hurt him.
I see.
Can you understand what I mean, Mr. Harding?
Well, yes, Mrs. Benton, but there are a great many people like you who make the same mistake. Once you were in a bad crowd, but at least you had the sense to get out. You've nothing to be ashamed of.
Some people don't see it that way.
The right people do, Mrs. Benton, and from everything I know about your husband, he's certainly one of the right people.
I was crazy to help Rocky, I know. If I had come to you in the beginning, Cliff wouldn't be in such danger now.
Danger? What do you mean, Mrs. Benton?
Rocky warned me not to let Cliff leave the island until after he's gone. He keeps his eye on Cliff all the time. Follows him, never lets Cliff out of his sight. And Rocky always has that gun with him. He told me that if anything goes wrong, if I make just one slip, he'll kill Cliff.
Hello?
Well, Mr. Harding, this is Cliff Benton.
Mr. Benton, yes?
Norma's not in the house now, but she told me about your talk with her. Rocky Gaines finally went to sleep. I just checked to make sure.
All right. Peters and I'll start for your island right away.
All right. The mooring's on the south shore.
I know. We should be there in less than 20 minutes.
I'll be waiting for you, Mr. Harding.
You'll be waiting, huh, Benton?
Gaines.
I told Norma what had happened if either of you tried playing games with me.
You should have left my wife alone.
I knew her long before you did, you...
Gaines, don't hit me again.
All you and Norma had to do was keep your traps tight till I got away. What did you have to squeal for?
The counter spies found out themselves, Gaines. You're licked now. They're on their way here.
And you think I'm going to sit here like one of those dumb ducks of yours, huh? Well, I can play games too, Ben, with red-hot slugs for you and for Norma.
Wait, Gaines.
Wait, yeah, don't worry, I'll wait. Till Harding gets here. And then I start.
Solid Island just ahead, Dave. Make for the jetty on the south side, Peters. Right. Peters, light. Through the trees. That light. Light? Right in the center of the island. Over there. I see it. That's the attic light in the Benton house. Norma Benton's danger signal to us. Something must have gone haywire. Maybe Rocky tumbled to the plan. Let's get to shore. I'll make it fast.
Mr. Harding. Mr. Harding.
Mrs. Benton, Dave.
Mr. Harding, did you see the attic signal?
Yes. Last I heard was from your husband. What happened?
I was outside the room when Cliff called you. Rocky caught him at it, so I switched on the signal light in the attic and ran down here.
We'll go right up to the house.
Yes, but Mr. Harding, Rocky plans to kill us all. Cliff, me, and you. He's waiting for you to arrive. But if he finds out that I'm gone, he won't wait. He has Cliff in the living room.
Peter, yes, Dave. We'll have to improvise fast now. You circle around the house. I'll have to take a chance of going up the front way with Mrs. Benton. There's a back door to the living room, isn't there, Mrs. Benton?
Yes.
Okay, Peter. You come in through the back. I'll try to stall Rocky Gaines while I jockey him into position. Now, your cue to come in will be this sentence. Don't be a fool, Rocky. You got it? Don't be a fool, Rocky. All set on it, Dave. I bet. A shot, Dave.
Let me kill Cliff!
Mrs. Benton, wait. Don't go back there alone. Wait!
You're all right.
Mr. Benton, where's the shot?
Mr. Harding, it wasn't Cliff. Thank heaven it
No
wasn't.
shot, Mr. Benton. What happened? Where's Rocky Gaines?
Right here, Harding.
Ooh.
Behind you. Get your hands up, Harding. You and Benton both. That's it. Now keep them that way. By the way, Harding, where are all your boys? I saw you come up the path alone.
I came over alone, Gaines, to talk sense to you.
Yeah? What kind of sense?
Give yourself up, Rocky. You haven't got a chance of getting away from this place alive.
Look who's telling me about getting out alive.
There are counter spies stationed all along the shore. Don't be a fool, Rocky.
Fool, huh? I got out a tougher spot than this. After I set this house on fire, your Boy Scouts will all come over here on the double. That's when I make my break with the boat.
I told you before, you haven't got a chance in the world. Don't be a fool, Rocky.
Shut up. You're holding up this party, and at this party, Harding, you're the guest of honor. And like they say, a guest of honor should get the first helping.
There's a close one for you, Dave.
You're telling me, Peters. What happened to you? I said the signal sentence twice, Dave. Believe it or not, those woods out back are thicker than we figured. Took me a while to get through. It's a good thing they weren't any thicker. All right, Mrs. Benton?
A little shaky, but yes, all right. If Cliff is.
We're both very grateful to you, Mr. Harding, for saving our lives and our life together.
Well, it cost Rocky Gaines his life. And that closes the case of your vicious visitor.
When your friends drop in, be generous, but be thrifty, too. Serve plenty of delicious Pepsi-Cola. Pepsi's big 12-ounce bottle gives you not just one sparkling glassful, but two. Get a carton of 6 and serve 12 delicious drinks. Yes, Pepsi is America's biggest cola value. You get twice the tangy taste, twice the refreshment, twice the Pepsi. So why take less when Pepsi is best? Whenever you reach for refreshment, remember,
Pepsi-Cola hits the spot. 2 full glasses, that's a lot. Lot more value, lot more zest. Why take less when Pepsi's best?
This is David Harding again. A special word to employers. Give work to our handicapped veterans. Next time a job opens, write to Captain Maurice Witherspoon, Masonic Veterans Committee, 71 West 23rd Street, New York City. Give our fighting men a fighting chance for rehabilitation.
Tune in every Tuesday and Thursday, same time, same station to Counterspy. Listen next Tuesday for the exciting Counterspy case of the Sweepstakes Murders.
When frightened witnesses could gasp only murdered by a golden sword. When strange and eerie sounds came from the depths of a ship. When a man had to be shot at to make him talk. These were some of the elements your counterspies face in our next case. Tune in on Tuesday to
Case of the Sweepstakes Murders on Counterspy. Tonight's Counterspy program originated in New York, was directed by William M. Sweet, dramatized by Edward J. Adamson, and featured Don McLaughlin and Mandel Kramer, with music by Jesse Crawford. Counterspy is a Philip H. Lord production for Pepsi-Cola. Enjoy some Pepsi, ice cold tonight. Pepsi-Cola, P-E-P-S-I, that's your smartest cola buy. Pepsi-Cola presents Counterspy.
Washington calling David Harding, Counterspy. Washington calling David Harding, Counterspy.
Harding, Counterspy. Calling Washington.
United States Counterspies, especially appointed to investigate and combat the enemies of our country, both at home and abroad.
Tonight, the case of the Sweepstakes Murders. Another Counterspy report to the American people. Brought to you each Tuesday and Thursday by Pepsi-Cola.
Pepsi-Cola hits the spot. 2 full glasses, that's a lot.
That's right, you heard what they said. 2 full glasses of sparkling Pepsi from one big 12-ounce bottle. You're getting an extra glassful. And what a delicious glassful. The most refreshing, delightful cola that ever tickled your taste. You can't top Pepsi's tangy flavor. And that big, big bottle saves you money, goes twice as far. Pepsi's America's big, big favorite. And America's biggest cola value. So why take less when Pepsi's best? Whenever you reach for refreshment, remember,
why take less when Pepsi's best?
And now, to Counterspy. It was a moonless night in the small southern town of Gulfport near the Mexican border. In a dimly lit, evil-smelling corridor of a rooming house, two shadowy men stood before a closed door.
Tom, you sure this is the room? Positive, Sheriff. Let's go in. Wait, Tom. Get away from the door. But what? Get back alongside it. That's it. Let's see if it's unlocked. Yeah, it is unlocked. No light in the room. Now listen. I'm going to shove the door open, shine my light in. You stay right where you are till I tell you. Okay, Sheriff. What the... Come on, Tom. What is it? Look. There on the floor. What? It's Frenchie. What's left of him? His chest. Look at his chest. What? I don't know what did it. I've never seen anything like this.
It's obvious, Uncle Si. The big shots in the sweepstakes racket found out Frenchie was going to talk to a newspaper reporter. Me. So they killed him. I never saw anything so horrible.
It's an outrage, Tom.
But if they think they've stopped me, they got another thing coming. I found something in Frenchie's room tonight which just might lead me to the men we want.
No? What did you find?
I'll tell you all about it when I bring in the story. I've got to be on my way.
Yeah, no, Tom. One man's been murdered already. I don't want anything to happen to you.
Oh, now, look, Uncle Si, this is a terrific story. Thousands and thousands of Americans are buying tickets on what's supposed to be an official Mexican sweepstakes. But the Mexican government says it doesn't know anything about it.
Yes, I know.
And tonight the racketeers proved they're murderers, too. Is the Gulfport Gazette going to laugh that off?
That's not the point, Tom. I can't let my own nephew risk his life.
Your nephew has to take the same chance as any other reporter would take.
Mm-hmm.
See you later, Uncle Si.
Hello?
Is Tom Fisher there?
No, he's not, but this is his wife, Ruth. Can I take a message?
Yeah. Tell him to lay off the big story he's working on, unless he wants the same thing to happen to him that happened to Frenchie.
Tom, that man on the phone frightened me. Darling, please drop the story you're working on.
Drop the biggest story that ever came my way? Don't be silly, Ruth.
But I don't want anything to happen to you.
Nothing's going to happen to me. Now, where? Oh, here it is.
What's that?
Oh, something I picked up in Frenchie's room.
Looks like a portrait chip.
Uh-huh. Well, gotta get moving.
Where are you going?
No, you're forgetting the rules. When Papa goes out on a big story, Mama doesn't ask questions.
Tom, don't go.
Hey, stop it now. Relax. I'll be back soon. Hey, you in the launch. You got room for one more? I'm going out to the gambling ship, too.
Number 22, Jack Indian. Number 22, take your best
Hiya, Toro.
Yes, Monk.
Big spending crowd aboard tonight, Toro. Here's the take from the wheel so far.
How much, Monk?
$2,100. And the launch is still bringing the suckers out here to this ship. Not bad, huh?
Oh, great. No, he's not bad.
What are you counting for? Don't you trust me?
Just as far as, how do you say? I can see.
Oh, now, look, Toro.
No. Do I'm enjoyed to count the money. Much money.
Yeah. You ought to be having the time of your life, then, the way that stuff is rolling in.
The door, Monk. The back door.
Okay.
Who is it?
Hey, Johnny, open up.
All right. Get in.
Okay. That gun out of my back.
What the? That's Tom Fisher, the reporter.
What?
That's right, Toro. Got him snooping around below decks.
You know where.
So, Senor Fisher, you have found what you expected below, huh?
Why, I don't know what you mean. No.
You're a poor liar, Senor. Nor are you wise. You should have heeded the advice conveyed to your wife. Then she would not become a widow.
A what? Now listen, Tor.
You know, Senor, that I was once a matador, a fighter of bulls.
No,
This case contains 2 of my favorite swords. This gold-hilted one was presented to me by enthusiastic aficionados in Mexico City after a corrida in which I dispatched 6 of the bravest and fiercest bulls ever seen in any arena. As you see, from the side, the blade appears to be straight. But if you hold it this way, observe how the blade curves to penetrate to the bull's heart. And now, Senor Bull, I am sighting on your heart.
From Counterspy Field Office, Charleston, South Carolina, to David Harding, Washington. Still another distributor of phony Mexican sweepstakes tickets apprehended here. Terrified, the man pleaded his arrest to be kept secret. Denied knowing leaders of racket, but said had been warned that any squealer met horrible death by a golden sword.
Statistical Department personnel. This is David Harding. Referring to counterfeit Mexican sweepstakes tickets. This case has some strange angles and is high on the Counterspy docket. We've had an official request for help from the Mexican government. Further, thousands of Americans are being swindled. Now, all murders of last 3 months are to be reclassified as to method of homicide. The counterfeit tickets themselves on hand here are to be given to my assistant, Harry Peters, for laboratory analysis.
Here it is, Dave. The paper those phony sweepstake tickets were printed on is a 34-pound super newsprint stock. It was made by the Southwest Pulp and Paper Mill in Orengo, Texas.
Texas, huh? You get a list of their customers, Peters?
We can't get that for a day or 2. The mill had a fire last week. The records are in a mess.
Oh, fine.
They told me, though, a couple of hundred newspapers buy super newsprint for their rotogravure sections, this particular grade, in addition to printers all over the country.
That's many, huh?
I told you this would be tough.
Well, maybe we can expedite matters. What did the lab say about the ink used on the phony tickets?
Well, it's a standard black ink, Chief. Colored ink or some special variation of black might be traced. But standard black is practically impossible.
Well, how about the printing press?
It's a flat bed press, printing in large sheets of paper, not from continuous rolls.
Well, as soon as we get that list from the paper mill, I'll instruct our agents. Yes, what is it, Miss Ferguson?
This report just came in from Texas, Mr. Harding. I think you'll want to see it.
Thank you.
Well, I like your new hairdo, Helen.
Thank you, Mr. Peters. Only it's not new.
Uh-oh.
What is it, Dave?
Listen to this report. 2 nights ago, a man called Frenchy, a small-time grafter, was found murdered in a rooming house in Gulfport, Texas. He'd been killed by a long stiletto or sword that mutilated his chest and went completely through his body.
Oh.
See, I can't wait. Early the following morning, the body of a young newspaper reporter, Tom Fisher, was found in the Gulf, just off Gulfport. He'd been murdered in exactly the same way.
Dave, that report from our Charleston office about the distributor who was peddling the phony sweepstake tickets. Didn't he say something about a sword?
Right, Peters. He said that anyone in the racket who squealed died horribly by a golden sword. Wait a minute now. Take a look at this map here. Oh.
What, Dave?
Here's Orengo, where you said that paper mill's located.
Mm-hmm.
And here's Gulfport.
About 100 miles away.
Peters, we've got to shortcut the job of tracing this paper. I want you to grab the first plane for Gulfport and go to work.
Now, Mrs. Fisher, try to recall. Did your husband tell you where he was going that night? The last time you saw him?
I asked him, but he wouldn't tell me, Mr. Peters. I begged him not to go.
Now try to pull yourself together. Come on now.
I'm sorry.
That's it. Now, Tom's editor, his uncle, said Tom didn't have any real clue to the men behind the phony sweepstakes racket. Did Tom tell you anything that he didn't tell his uncle?
No. Tom said he just looked around the room of that poor man who'd been murdered.
Frenchy, yes. Now, try to remember, Mrs. Fisher, this is very important. Tom may have said something which we might use as a clue, some little thing.
But he didn't. We had a rule. There was something.
Yes?
A poker chip. A golden poker chip.
A poker chip?
Only this one was gold, and it had the picture of a bull on it. Tom said he found it in Frenchy's room.
Well, ordinary poker chips aren't usually gold. They're white, red, or blue. But they do have gold chips, the high-priced ones, in gambling houses. Are there any gambling houses in Gulfport, you know?
Not in town, but there's a ship out in the Gulf, a converted yacht, where people go to dine and dance and gamble. El Toro, it's called. It's very popular.
El Toro. Toro means bull in Spanish, and there was a picture of a bull on the chip your husband had.
Oh. Mr. Peters, do you think that's where Tom went that night?
It could be. That's where I'm going now.
I'll go with you.
No, Mrs. Fisher. This might be dangerous.
I don't care. I want to find the man who killed my husband.
Mrs. Fisher, that's my job. You stay here, and I'll keep in touch with you. I'll see you later.
Good evening, Mr. Peters.
Ruth Fisher, what are you doing here?
I told you I want to find the man who killed my husband.
And I told you to... Well, what's the use? You're here now.
Have you found out anything?
No, not yet. I've been circulating around in the crowd, but so... Say, there it is again.
What?
You hear that sound? Kind of dull hammering. It's coming from below decks.
Yes, I hear it. It's probably the yacht's engine.
But we're not moving. Ventilator pumps? No. Sounds more like...
What?
There's too much noise in here. Come out on deck where we can hear better.
Yes.
Pardon?
Oh, I'm sorry. Excuse me. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Peters.
Wait. Yes, by George, I think I know what that sound is.
What?
A printing press.
A printing press out here on the boat?
I'm sure it is. It seems to be coming from below decks. Come on, Mrs. Fisher. The stairs are over this way.
Look out, Mr. Peters. There are two men behind you.
What?
Oh!
That does it.
Oh, you killed Mr. Peters.
In just a moment, we'll return to Counterspy, brought to you by Pepsi-Cola.
Pepsi-Cola, it's a spot. 2 full glasses, that's a lot. Lots more value, lots more zest. Why take less when Pepsi's best?
More and more, among fellows and girls, among mothers and dads, you hear that sane and sensible question, why take less when Pepsi is best? No budget, no allowance ever had a better friend than tangy, sparkling Pepsi-Cola. Because one big 12-ounce Pepsi bottle gives you 2 delicious drinks. That's twice as much tangy taste, twice as much delicious Pepsi to go just twice as far. That's why more and more families say, why take less when Pepsi's best? Yes, families like yours and mine, families all over America, they're all saying, why take less when Pepsi is best?
Pepsi-Cola hits the spot, tastes terrific when you're hot, more and better than the rest. Why take less when Pepsi's best?
Today, tomorrow, always. Get America's biggest cola value. Take home a carton of 6 big Pepsi bottles. Insist on Pepsi at the store. And say Pepsi at the fountain. Say Pepsi at the stand. Say Pepsi. Whenever you reach for refreshment, remember,
why take less when Pepsi's best?
And now, back to Counterspy and David Harding in Washington.
Miss Ferguson.
Yes, Mr. Harding.
Any word from Peters from Gulfport yet?
Not a thing. I'm worried, Mr. Harding.
So am I. I'm flying down to Gulfport.
I was hoping you'd say that.
Call the airport. Tell them to get a plane ready. Then call Mert Kennedy at the field office in Dallas. Tell him to meet me in Gulfport. I'm leaving at once.
Wake up, Senor Peters. Wake up, I say.
Stop hitting him, you brute.
You be silent, Senor Official, or you get it too. Senor Peters, wake up. It's morning. You've been asleep all night.
Johnny sure gave him an awful crack on the noggin, Toro.
Yeah, but he's not dead yet. Oh, wake up, you pig of a counterspy.
What? He's coming too. Take these ropes off my arms and I'll...
You'll do nothing, Senor. Except what I tell you.
Who are you?
I am El Toro.
El Toro? Oh. You run this gambling ship and the...
See, the gambling ship and all else you came to find. Amigo, you wish both yourself and the charming Senor Fisher to live, huh?
Naturally.
Well, then all you need to do is to send a telegram to your, chief in Washington, the great David Harding. You say to him, you have investigated, and the headquarters of the sweepstake is not in Gulfport, as you think first, but in this small town of Vernoche over in Mexico. And you say you go there now.
Hey, that's good, Toro. And after I send this wire, taking the heat off you, Mrs. Fisher and I get bumped off, huh?
Oh, no, amigo. After a short while, you're made free.
You think I'm dumb enough to believe that? I know you killed that poor bum Frenchie, and you killed Tom Fisher.
Oh, you grieve me, amigo, to doubt my word. But you listen to me then. You, I promise nothing. But send the telegram, and the senor will not be harmed. I promise.
I wouldn't trust you as far as I could throw the animal you're named after.
Very well then, Senor Peters. Observe. Here is my gold-hilted matador sword, with which I dispatched the treacherous Frenchie and the reporter. Now, you do as I say, or I kill Senor Fisher here right before your eyes.
No!
Well, what do you say, Senor?
Okay, I'll send the wire.
Now you talk. Bueno. There's a telegraph pad here on my desk and pen and ink. Now write.
All right. Untie my hands.
Now that is simple. With the sword. But try nothing rash, amigo.
I know, Anwick. Let's see. There's not much ink in this inkwell.
Oh, there's enough for the purpose.
It's enough to blind you for a moment.
I'm blind.
No, you don't.
You throw things in my eyes.
You what?
Kill you. The whole thing, look.
Give me that gun. There you, monkey.
Bad luck. Toro got away. No use our running out into another trap. Ruth, help me push the desk against the door. I'm trying to figure something out.
All right.
hold them off with Monk's gun for a while. But there's only one bullet left in it.
I just had a station with Gulfport Sheriff, Mr. Hardy. 2 fellas killed, Frenchie and Tom Fisher. 2 folks disappear, Peters and Mrs. Fisher. But the sheriff is plumb out ideas.
Well, we'll have to find Peters and Mrs. Fisher without him then, Kennedy.
Did you see the newspaper editor?
Cyrus Manning, yes. He's young Fisher's uncle, and he's afraid of something. And I have an idea, but I can't do anything about it until I hear. Maybe that's the call I want now. Hardy speaking. Oh, yes, Mr. King. Have you got the shipping figure? Good, let's have it. 44.67 tons. Thanks very much. No, that's all I need right now. Thanks again. Goodbye. My hunch was right, Kennedy. Now, I've got a plan, but I'll need your help. Now, I'm going back to see Cyrus Manning, editor of the Gulfport Gazette. And I will... You want your niece, Ruth Fisher, to be found, and you want the killers of your nephew brought to justice, isn't that right?
That's right, Mr. Harding.
Well, then tell me who killed your nephew and who's responsible for your niece's disappearance.
I don't know.
You're afraid to talk. You're afraid you'll be killed, too, by the golden sword.
That's not true.
But, Mr. Manning, the men you're protecting can't afford to let you live. You know too much. Your only chance to save your life is to confide in me. Those fellows may be planning to murder you at this very moment. Look out, Mr. Manning. Down on the floor.
Good heavens.
Somebody shot at you from the window. Come back here. Too bad, Mr. Manning. He got away. Manning, you all right?
Yes. I think so. Good heavens.
See, I told you. You were in great danger. Use your head, man. Talk before it's too late.
Get away from the door, Toro, or I'll shoot again.
I have guarded your shot, Senor Peters. You don't have no bullets left. Now, come on, amigos. We break down the door. Now, together.
Is he right, Mr. Peters? Are all the bullets really gone?
Yes, Ruth. I tried to bluff him, and he called my bluff.
Oh, dear. Mr. Peters, the door is cracking.
I'm afraid it won't be long now.
Well, there's the gambling ship, Mr. Hardy. The El Toro.
Right, Kennedy. Bring us in alongside, Lieutenant.
Now, Mr. Hardy, aren't you scared there's innocent patrons aboard?
No launches have come out here all day, Kennedy. All right, men, check your weapons. Prepare to board. Lieutenant, head us in. Cut your engine.
Nobody in sight, Mr. Harding, and the deck's empty.
I don't like it, Kennedy.
I sent 6 men down the port side. You want us to go up on this side?
Now, let's go.
That's a trap. Hit the deck, men! Return that fire! Here he is, Mr. Harding, El Toro himself, caught hiding up forward. Peters must have winged him. Toro, meet Mr. Harding.
I bow to a greater matador than myself.
Save that baloney for your trial, Toro.
All right, Kennedy, handcuffs, and hold him aboard our cutter. Peters, you all right?
Found us $1, Dave.
Good. So these are the presses Toro used for printing the phony sweepstakes tickets.
Yes. Pretty clever setting him up down here in the hold,
Well, he'll never print any more tickets, Peters. That ex-bullfighter is going to the electric chair.
By the way, Dave, Kennedy told me about the trick you and he pulled on Manning, the newspaper editor. firing blank shots near him to make him think Toro was after him, so he talked.
Well, fortunately, it worked.
How did you happen to suspect that smooth old mint julep was part of this gang?
When the Southwest Paper Mill reported that the Gulfport Gazette bought super newsprint from them, I checked their shipping records against Manning's daily inventory. The inventory was short, which made me suspect that Manning was diverting paper to Toro for his sweepstake tickets.
Well, it was all a well-concealed connection, Dave.
Yes, Toro was very clever with his gold and sword, but you'll find it won't cut the lock to the death house door.
When your friends drop in, be generous, but be thrifty, too. Serve plenty of delicious Pepsi-Cola. Pepsi's big 12-ounce bottle gives you not just one sparkling glass full, but two. Get a carton of 6 and serve 12 delicious drinks. Yes, Pepsi is America's biggest cola value. You get twice the tangy taste, twice the refreshment, twice the Pepsi. So why take less when Pepsi is best? Whenever you reach for refreshment, remember,
Pepsi-Cola hits the spot. 2 full glasses, that's a lot. Lot more value, lot more zest. Why take less when Pepsi's best?
This is David Harding. A special word to employers. Give work to our handicapped veterans. Next time a job opens, write to Captain Maurice Witherspoon, Masonic Veterans Committee, 71 West 23rd Street, New York City. Give our fighting men a fighting chance for rehabilitation.
Tune in every Tuesday and Thursday, same time, same station to Counterspy. Listen on Thursday for the exciting Counterspy case of the genuine counterfeit.
In the case of the genuine counterfeits, we face a baffling situation of mixed identities. 2 men died, yet who were they? One man lived while another hovered between life and death. And a subtle criminal came within minutes of getting away with a long-prepared, carefully rehearsed plot. The decisive clue, a knife in a man's hand. I invite you to be tuned in on Thursday, day after tomorrow, for
Case of the Genuine Counterfeit on Counterspy. Tonight's Counterspy program originated in New York, was directed by Leonard L. Bass, and featured Don McLaughlin and Mandel Kramer, with music by Jesse Crawford. Counterspy is a Phillips H. Lord production for Pepsi-Cola. Enjoy some Pepsi, ice cold tonight.
Pepsi-Cola, P-E-P-S-I. That's your smartest cola buy. Pepsi-Cola presents Counterspy.
Washington calling David Harding, Counterspy. Washington calling David Harding, Counterspy.
Harding, Counterspy. Calling Washington. United States Counterspies, especially appointed to investigate and combat the enemies of our country, both at home and abroad. Tonight, the case of a genuine counterfeit. Another Counterspy report to the American people. Brought to you each Tuesday and Thursday by Pepsi-Cola. Pepsi-Cola, hits the spot. 2 full glasses, that's a lot. That's right, you heard what they said. 2 full glasses of sparkling Pepsi from one big 12-ounce bottle. You're getting an extra glassful. And what a delicious glassful. The most refreshing, delightful cola that ever tickled your taste. You can't top Pepsi's tangy flavor. And that big, big bottle saves you money, goes twice as far. Pepsi's America's big, big favorite. And America's biggest cola value. So why take less when Pepsi is best? Whenever you reach for refreshment, remember, why take less when Pepsi's best? And now to Counterspy. A little little over 6 weeks ago, in a small mid-European country, a man, the private secretary of a diplomat named Bornay, lay on the kitchen floor of his own apartment. His head, twisted to one side, revealed a dark ooze on one temple. And as he lay unconscious, a steady stream of gas hissed from the open jets of the stove. Gas which filled the room and swirled around the flickering pilot light of the stove.
Rudolph, my friend, what are you doing here?
Waiting to see you, Mr. Boney.
It's a pleasant surprise. Oh, come into the apartment.
Thank you.
I returned home from the funeral of poor Carlos. You heard of his horrible death in the gas explosion, did you not?
Yes, Mr. Boney, I heard.
Oh, tragic. And right before I am to leave for America. Oh, come on. But let us not speak of that. Tell me, my friend, why are you here?
This paper will explain.
Huh?
You see, I am to replace Carlos as your secretary.
You? Giving up your position in the government? But why, my friend?
Because I am your friend. And I realize your danger.
Danger? To me?
Mr. Boney, I don't believe the death of your secretary was the accident it seems to be.
Rudolph, you think the gas explosion was...
It may have been an attempt to get at you.
But why? I'm a poor old man, unimportant.
Would your country send you on an important mission like this if they thought that?
But that is why they sent me. Since our ambassador in the United States is ill, I sail to America. Arrange for the engraving of bonds for our government and bring them back personally. Oh, merely an honor to an old man.
$3 million, merely an honor? The engraving of the bonds on which the future of our nation depends?
Well, perhaps the fact that I avoid publicity and am not known outside our country was an added reason.
I think... I warn you, Mr. Boney. Don't underestimate your own importance or your danger.
Your drink, Rudolph.
Thank you. The death of your secretary, the sudden illness of the ambassador in Washington, I feel it may all be a part of a dangerous plot.
Good heavens. Oh, very well, if you're right, I'd better ask the government for an armed guard on my trip.
Mr. Boney, I have another suggestion.
What is it, Rudolph? If you know any way...
My suggestion is that you and I exchange identities. That you travel as my secretary, Rudolph, and I as the envoy, Boney.
You would take that chance?
Yours is the life of value to our country. You must get those bonds through.
Very well. You feel that strongly about it, Rudolph. Very well. You shall be the special envoy, Bornay. I shall be your secretary, Rudolph, on our voyage to the United States. Find you here. Rudolph. I mean, Mr. Bornay. Yes, the water turning from the propellers increases. Turbulent, dangerous, like the world we live in. Have you had dinner?
The mess they serve on this ship under the guise of food. But, I did have an interesting dinner partner.
Another gourmet like yourself?
No. That American girl. The one we watched come aboard with the invalid in the wheelchair.
Ah, yes. The pretty redhead.
Her name's Myra Stevens, and the man in the wheelchair is her uncle. She's bringing him back to the United States for treatment.
Oh, you seem to have learned a great deal about her.
Oh, well.
If I were 20 years younger, I'd be giving you competition myself.
Well, shall we go to our cabin and finish packing? We dock early.
Very well, very well. By the way, we are to be officially met when the ship docks.
Officially met?
A radiogram came this morning from Mr. David Harding of the American Counterspy.
Counterspy?
Yes, he's to meet us personally. His agency may take over the job of guarding me, and you won't have to worry anymore.
Please. Oh, Mr. Boney.
Miss Stevens, what's wrong?
My uncle. He's fallen from his wheelchair, and I can't lift him back. would you and your secretary be willing to help me? Cabin's back down here. He's trying to reach his medicine when he steps. Here, take it back to me.
All right. Now, if Miss Stevens, Uncle's not on the floor. He's there on the bed. I thought that...
Good work, Myra. The old fool never knew what hit him.
That padded pipe is perfect. Not a mark on it.
He can't afford any slicks, not with $3 million at stake. How about your uncle on the bed? Is he still unconscious?
Not a sound out of him since I brought him aboard. The stuff you gave him works like a charm. Who is he anyway?
Just a sailor I found in the dock. But he served his purpose. Here, give me a hand with old Bonnie. We'll put him in the wheelchair.
Why don't we get rid of him? What are you saving him for?
I have many uses in mind for old Bonnie. Now, Myra, does a hypodermic needle bother you?
Well, if you don't needle me with it. How long will that stuff keep your men unconscious, Rudolph?
Long enough for you to get them ashore tomorrow into your apartment. That's it, keep him quiet. I'll get me a blanket.
Sure. The one I wrapped around the other one.
Wrap it around, Bonnie. Now, as far as anyone knows, this is the same man you brought aboard. Your poor, invalid uncle.
While you go on posing as Warner. Pretty slick, Rudolph.
I planned it, didn't I?
One thing I don't get, though. Everyone in the United States will accept you as Vornay. Why did you have to forge a duplicate order for those bonds?
My dear, Vornay was sent out to have $3 million worth of bonds printed. With that duplicate letter, I can have $6 million made.
6 is more than 3. So far, so good.
At the right time, I send $3 million back to my country, as they expect. But for myself, I have $3 million more. Perfect bonds, genuine counterfeits, duplicates, that is, to be sold here and there around the world to my own profit.
And mine.
You'll get your share.
Okay, mastermind. How do we get rid of this sailor?
We'll wait till the deck is empty, and then send our sailor on his last sail. Without the boat. Up to the rail, Myra.
Hurry up.
Now you understand what you're to do. After we toss him over, I call man overboard. Then I tell the captain I saw my secretary, Rudolph, fall over the side of the ship.
And I back you up so nobody can doubt your story. Okay, let's get it over with.
All right. 1, 2, 3.
So long, Uncle.
Peters in Counterspy Statistical Department. Please report to Mr. Harding's office at once. Report to Mr. Harding.
What's up, Mr. Harding? A job for you, Peters. Oh, I got my bulletproof vest. No, this is an easy one. I just want you to meet a ship with me in New York and then arrange for the safety of the foreign envoy who's aboard. Another throneless king? A man named Vornay. He's been sent here to arrange the printing of some bonds for his country. Why here, Dave? To cut the chances of counterfeiting. His country's economy is already shaky, and they're issuing these bonds to add to the Marshall Plan aid we're already giving them. Any counterfeits might topple the government. So we play nursemaid, hmm? Well, it's vitally important to the United States to see that his government doesn't fall. These bonds may be the deciding factor. We'll fly up to New York now. The ship docks tomorrow morning. Peters, the person said Mr. Vornay went into this restaurant. What? Oh, sorry, Dave. It's that red-headed girl. The one who left the ship was the man in the wheelchair? Mm-hmm. Now, his foreign envoys look like that girl. Yeah, we'd have even more international complications. Come on, Romeo. Mister said Mr. Vornay was wearing a white suit. Over there, Dave. Corner table. Looks rather young, doesn't it? Judging from what I've heard of Vornay. Get the damn stick there on the side, Mr. Vornay? Ah, you must be Mr. David Hart. Well, I'm sorry we missed you when you came down the gangplank. This is my assistant, Harry Peters. Vornay, I'm very pleased to meet you both. Won't you join me? You probably think it odd of me to eat as soon as I land. But you see, I consider myself a gourmet. Food on the boat.
I understand. I hope the voyage was good otherwise, though.
On the contrary, Mr. Harding. It's a tragic.
Oh?
My secretary, Rudolph, was lost at sea.
Lost?
He fell overboard. Evidently an attack of dizziness. Poor Rudolph.
Strange we hadn't heard of it, Mr. Harding.
Well, death on the high seas, ship of foreign registry, I suppose, Mr. Peters, they wouldn't have troubled your counterspies with such a minor, though tragic accident.
Oh, is everyone sure it was an accident?
It was seen both by myself and another passenger, but there was no question. It was definitely an accident.
Was he a close friend, Mr. Boney?
Very.
Well, my business in seeing you this morning, Mr. Boney, was to welcome you to our country and arrange whatever protection you desire while you're here.
Protection? Mr. Harding, I have a great deal to do in your country. A great deal to see.
Well, that's right. This is your first time outside your own country, isn't it?
Yes. And I'd rather not have your agents tagging after me. I'm sure you understand.
That's up to you, of course. If there's anything at all we can do for you, please call on us. Shall we go, Peters?
Why the frown, Dave?
Peters, did you notice the way Vorney was eating?
He takes his food seriously.
Well, I mean the way he handled his silverware. He held a fork in his right hand eating, but when he wanted to cut, he changed the fork to his left.
Well, don't we both do the same thing?
Of course, we all do in this country. But in the one Vorney comes from, a country he's never supposed to have left before. They do it in the opposite way, keeping the fork in the left hand all the time.
No, but Dave...
Well, I'll admit it's a small thing, Peters, but there are others, too. Considering the importance of his mission, we can't take any chances.
So what could be wrong?
I don't know yet, but I will. Peters, we're going to have to be awfully careful because of his diplomatic standing. But we're going to do a bit of checking on Mr. Vorney.
You were right, Dave.
Find proof of foul play in Vorney's secretary. Falling overboard at sea?
Not yet. Thorndyke is checking that angle now. But I checked into recent news reports from Vorney's country, and I found that the secretary before this one also died under peculiar circumstances.
Oh?
A short time before Vorney sailed, he died in a mysterious gas explosion at his home.
Oh. Well, certainly something very fishy about Vorney that isn't explained by his sea voyage.
Wait, Dave, there's more. I found that only 3 pictures of Vorney have ever been taken. The only copies of them in the main office of their big news service are mysteriously missing from their files.
Peters, this is another proof that we ought to have a better, quicker means of getting photographs of people we're interested in. If we only had some sort of miniature camera that could be issued as standard equipment for every counterspy.
Well, it would certainly simplify our work, Dave.
No question. A camera small enough to fit in the hand with a simplified foolproof mechanism. As simple as the old-style box cameras that a kid could operate.
Well, why not send instructions through to Washington tonight? Photolab could begin work on it now.
I'm going to do it. If we had a camera like that on this case, well, we haven't. We'll do the best we can. Now, first of all, Peters, keep on with this investigation of the high mortality rate in Vorney's secretary.
Right.
Also, I want a tail put on Vorney. Our best men, Peters. This man's clever. Plant some men at his hotel, too.
I'll see to it, Dave.
And I want all our field officers alerted to try to locate somebody, a relative, a friend, who can identify Vorney.
Dave, the captain of the ship identified him. At least he's the same man who came aboard.
Well, we can't pass up any chances. And I also want to know whether Vorney has ordered those bombs for his government. If so, I want delivery to him stalled until we complete our investigation.
I'll handle that myself.
And no, assign J4 to it. I've got another job for you, Peters. A special job.
In just a moment, we'll return to Counterspy, brought to you by Pepsi-Cola.
Pepsi-Cola, hits the spot, 2 full glasses, that's a lot. Lots more value, lots more zest. Why take less when Pepsi's best?
More and more, among fellows and girls, among mothers and dads, you hear that sane and sensible question. Why take less when Pepsi is best? No budget, no allowance ever had a better friend than tangy, sparkling Pepsi-Cola. Because one big 12-ounce Pepsi bottle gives you 2 delicious drinks. That's twice as much tangy taste, twice as much delicious Pepsi to go just twice as far. That's why more and more families say, why take less when Pepsi is best? Yes, families like yours and mine, families all over America, they're all saying, why take less when Pepsi is best.
Pepsi-Cola hits the spot, tastes terrific when you're hot, more and better than the rest. Why take less when Pepsi's best?
Today, tomorrow, always. Get America's biggest cola value. Take home a carton of 6 big Pepsi bottles. Insist on Pepsi at the store. And say Pepsi at the fountain. Say Pepsi at the stand. Say Pepsi. Whenever you reach for refreshment, remember,
why take less when Pepsi's best?
And now, back to Counterspy. A man stands outside the door of a New York apartment hotel, looks around, then pushes the doorbell.
Rudolph, come in. What's wrong? Phone?
Has anything odd happened to you, Myra?
Huh?
Any repairmen trying to get in? People with the wrong apartment number, noise on the telephone?
No, nothing. Think somebody's on it?
Think Harding and his counterspies are suspicious. I told you about my lunch.
Harding didn't say.
He watched me very closely, and now I've been followed every time I leave my hotel.
What? And you came here?
Don't worry, I shook them off. But we must move fast.
You run away?
Give up $3 million in a year's work? No. I've already ordered the bond. I just need a little more time.
You don't suppose they dope out you're not warning?
Myra, darling, suppose I prove that I am. Is Bonnie still safe in the next room?
Sure.
Let's go see.
Tried to wake up about an hour ago. I had to give him another hypo.
All right, but from now on, only half a shot.
Yeah, look how peaceful he is. If we cut down on the dose, he might wake up and make a lot of noise.
And keep him tied and gagged. But I'm even conscious enough to sign some papers. Now, where's that gold cigarette case?
Here in the drawer. I was keeping it.
You mean you were going to steal it? I give you a chance at part of $3 million and you waste time on small change. Myra, you're still just a nightclub girl at heart.
Hey, now.
Hold his arm when I get his fingerprints all over the cigarette case.
What good will that be? Your prints will be on it, too.
Oh, no. I coated my own fingers with collodion. I can't leave any prints.
Then what?
I read in the paper that David Harding is again in New York. I'm going to drop in and see him and just happen to leave my case. Warner's will be the only prints they'll find on.
It's pretty slick, Rudolph, even for you.
Isn't it? I just hope it's slick enough to fool the counterspy.
J4 calling, Mr. Harding. A checkup of bond engraving companies reveals that 2 separate orders have been placed by Bournet. Each order is for $3 million worth of negotiable bonds. Examination of the orders proves one letter to be a clever duplicate of the other.
Twice the original amount ordered, huh? And that's the answer to his racket. $3 million to be sold by his government and an equal amount for his own profit.
The bond companies have agreed to stall him as you requested.
Okay. Stand by for further orders. All right, Miss Ferguson, you can send Mr. Bournet in now. Come in, Mr. Bournet.
Thank you. I hope I'm not keeping you from your store.
What? Not at all. What can I do for you?
I still think to thank you and Mr. Peters for your kindness in meeting me when I ship docked the other day.
Well, I'm sorry Mr. Peters isn't in right now. He's out on a job.
Thanks. I hope to see him. Mind if I smoke, Mr. Harding?
Well, don't. You'll find some cigarettes there.
Clapper, please. I have this case with my own favorite brand.
Oh, do you excuse me?
Sure.
Harding speaking.
All done, Dave. We got into Bournet's room as soon as he left and went over it with the infrared equipment so there won't be any traces left.
Get anything?
All the fingerprints you wanted. I'm bringing the photographs right down to be developed. One bad break, though. Bournet again shook off the man we had trailing him. No idea where he is now.
I have. Here.
Would you? Boy, if he could hear this call.
I don't think that'd be too good. I'll see you later. Sorry, Mr. Bournet.
It is my fault for taking up your time when you are busy chasing some, how do you say, international racketeers.
No, I'm glad you came. I have some news for you. We've located an old friend of yours here in the United States.
A friend?
Otto Strebling in Chicago. Used to work with you in your country. Remember him?
Of course. But you shouldn't have gone.
Oh, it's no bother at all, Mr. Bournet. Anything to make your visit here a memorable one. I've arranged for Sebring to fly in from Chicago tonight. He'll land at 7.
Could someone please tell me where I can get a cab? Could any? For goodness sake, well, no, what happened?
Mr. Otto Sebring.
Yes, I'm Otto.
Darling, how good to see you.
But
Stay along with me. My name is Myra Stevens. I'm a counterspy.
A counterspy? For
No
goodness
time to
sake,
explain. You value your life, as I said. Darling, just you come along with me. My car is right outside. Now into this house, Mr. Sebring.
All right, but why do we have to be so careful? There's no one around.
I told you, you and Vorney are both in danger.
You are taking me to my old friend, Mr. Vorney, aren't you?
Yes, he's being hidden here until we catch the foreign agents we're after. All right, get inside.
All right, you don't have to poke at me. For goodness sake, why do you point that gun at me?
Why do people usually point guns, stupid? Now go on to the next room.
But you said you would take me to my friend.
That's just what I'm doing. He's right in here. There you are, Otto, old boy. Mr. Vorney.
Well, for goodness sake, he is all tied up in his feet.
We tried to convince him he should sign some papers. Maybe now when he sees you, he'll behave.
You are not with the counterfeit.
Stay where you are. I may wear a search bob, but I can shoot pretty good at close range.
You lied to me.
Not entirely. In a way, I am with the counterspy. At least my boss, Rudolph, is. Yeah, at this very minute, he's having dinner with David Harding, head of the counterspy. Setting up a perfect alibi for himself.
Mr. Harding, when I invited you to dinner... we'll have our dinner, Mr. Vorney, but first I thought you'd like to see how we make an arrest in this country. Of course, but... A call I received just before we left was from my agents. They followed the girl accomplice of a certain criminal to a house here in the suburbs. This house, as a matter of fact. Yes? Come on, Mr. Vorney. I'm sure you'll be interested.
After you, Mr. Harding.
Oh, no, Mr. Vorney. After you.
Vorney, wake up. Rudolph.
Mr. Harding,
Harding? What kind of thing is it? I take up out of here, like you said.
you fool. That is not Otto. That's Harry Peters, one of Harding's men.
Counterspy.
I'll take that gun.
No, you don't.
All right, Peters, you can untie Mr. Vorney now. And as for you, Mr. Rudolph, you're under arrest.
On what charge, Mr. Harding?
The kidnapping of Mr. Vorney, forging official documents, and...
But, Mr. Harding, I'm not responsible for what this woman did.
You double crossed jerk. You're not passing the buck to me on this. Listen, Harding, this guy's already killed 2 men, and before I'm done talking...
All right, you'll get your chance to talk. We already have all the proof we need. You see, Rudolph, your clever trick with the cigarette case didn't work. We'd already gotten your fingerprints in your apartment. You simply gave away the fact that the real envoy was here, too.
And you thought you were so slick, mastermind.
He was, but not clever enough. He fell for the story that an old friend of Vorney's was coming and led my men here just as we expected.
All right, Mr. Harding. Let's get it over with.
Let's go. Certainly, Rudolph. Oh, I did promise you a dinner, didn't I? Well, you'll get it. It'll be interesting to get the opinion of a gourmet like yourself, Rudolph, on the food served in our federal prisons.
When your friends drop in, be generous, but be thrifty, too. Serve plenty of delicious Pepsi-Cola. Pepsi's big 12-ounce bottle gives you not just one sparkling glass full, but 2. Get a carton of 6 and serve 12 delicious drinks. Yes, Pepsi is America's biggest cola value. You get twice the tangy taste, twice the refreshment, twice the Pepsi. So why take less when Pepsi is best? Whenever you reach for refreshment, remember...
Pepsi-Cola, it's the spot. 2 full glasses, that's a lot. Lot more value, lot more zest. Why take less when Pepsi's best?
Tune in every Tuesday and Thursday, same time, same station, to Counterspy. Listen next Tuesday for the exciting Counterspy case of the Society Swindler.
Time said the master criminal had to be treated just right, and time meant two things, money and death. Yet in the end, it was time that trapped him, for time is not the exclusive weapon of crime, but used, too, by your counterspies to catch the man I call the Society Swindler.
Case of the Society Swindler on Counterspy. Tonight's Counterspy program originated in New York, was directed by William M. Sweets, and featured Don McLaughlin and Mandel Kramer, with music by Jesse Crawford. Counterspy is a Philip H. Lord production for Pepsi-Cola. Enjoy some Pepsi, ice cold tonight.
Pepsi-Cola, P-E-P-S-I. That's your smartest cola buy. Pepsi-Cola presents Counterspy.
Washington calling David Harding, Counterspy. Washington calling David Harding, Counterspy.
Harding, Counterspy, calling Washington.
United States Counterspy, especially appointed to investigate and combat the enemies of our country, both at home and abroad. Tonight, the case of the Society Swindlers. Another Counterspy report to the American people. Brought to you each Tuesday and Thursday by Pepsi-Cola.
Pepsi-Cola, hit the spot. 2 full glasses, that's a lot.
That's right, you heard what they said. 2 full glasses of sparkling Pepsi from one big 12-ounce bottle. You're getting an extra glassful. And what a delicious glassful. The most refreshing, delightful cola that ever tickled your taste. You can't top Pepsi's tangy flavor. And that big bottle saves you money, goes twice as far. Pepsi's America's big favorite. And America's biggest cola value. So why take less when Pepsi is best? Whenever you reach for refreshment, remember,
Why take less when Pepsi's best?
And now, to Counterspy. 22 stories above the streets of Manhattan, in the paneled library of a penthouse, a well-groomed man in a satin smoking jacket sits at a heavy oak desk. His eyes are fixed impatiently on the sweet second hand of his unique alarm wristwatch as a dark-haired woman reads from a list.
General and Mrs. Ralph C. Maxton, Dr. and Mrs. Charles Nestor, Commissioner and Mrs. Stephen W. Otis. Oh, by the way, Alfred, Mr. Otis has just been elected chairman of the board of General Oil.
I know all about Otis. Please continue, Carla.
Mr. and Mrs. George R. Pace, Ambassador and Mrs. Victor Pagano, Mr. and Mrs. Lance.
That'll be all, Carla.
But, Alfred, I haven't finished the list.
You heard my alarm watch. Time is up. 3.5 minutes.
You're a strange man, Alfred.
Time is money, Carla. About that list, see to it that the guests appear at Mrs. Grayson's party for the World Refugee Fund.
With my name on the invitation as co-hostess, no one will dare refuse to appear. They're all deadly afraid of what I may write in my weekly column.
One unkind word from Countess Carlo Maroni, and they're in hot water. That title pays you real dividends, doesn't it?
Thanks to your cleverness in organizing the World Refugee Fund. Oh, dear, sweet charity. What a blessing to mankind. Oh.
Mr. Batson.
What is it, Zero?
Olson's here.
He's 20 seconds late, Zero.
Yeah, I know, boss. I kept him out in the hall like you said.
Let's see. It's 2 minutes to 8.
1 minute and 30 seconds. That's enough time to give Polson.
Alfred, you'll be back?
In 1 minute and 45 seconds. All right, Jill. And down the hall. Zero. Did Polson walk up from the 20th floor as I ordered?
Yeah, boss. Everything's set.
Good evening, Polson.
Hi, Mr. Batson. You want to see me?
Polson, you've worked the room bet table for me at 11 of our charity parties. You're an excellent croupier, and I pay you well.
No complaints, Mr. Batson.
Then, Polson, why did you withhold some of the money from your table at last night's party in Philadelphia? I'll give you exactly 20 seconds to explain.
I don't get you.
I was watching you, Polson. You cut yourself a nice slice.
Oh, you got me wrong, Zero. I wouldn't do a thing like that to Mr. Batson.
You're a liar.
Zero, let him go.
Okay, boss.
I can explain, Mr. Batson.
There's no time left to explain. You wasted it lying.
Please, just give me
You heard the boss. Time's up. Get moving.
Zero, open the elevator door for Polson.
With pleasure.
That's the way out for you, Polson.
The elevator's not there.
It's 22 floors below, and you're going down to meet it.
What?
You're taking a suicide dive, Polson. That's why I had you get off at the 20th floor and walk the rest of the way up to be sure you wouldn't be traced to my penthouse. All right, Zero.
So long, Chiseler. Minute and 30 seconds on the nose for Polson. You timed it just right, Mr. Batson.
Of course, Zero. That's the way to treat time. Exactly right. Good evening, Countess Moroni.
Why, Alfred Babson, charming of you to come.
I hope this party will provide you with plenty of material for your society column.
Oh, yes. And the roulette table's just piling up money for the World Refugee Fund.
Ah, sweet charity.
I got your signal, Alfred. Anything wrong?
Come into the study, Carla. Have a minute and a half to talk to you. Carla, I heard something this afternoon that may mean trouble.
Oh?
About a man called George Walsh, the cleverest and biggest fake charity organizer on the West Coast. I've just learned that Walsh is headed here to begin operations in East Coast society circles.
But Alfred, we've had that big affair at Vera Ashton's home outside Washington next month. Are you afraid of trouble over that?
That you can leave to me. More important, Carla.
Yes?
You are a valuable asset in this business. If Walsh should try to buy you away from me...
Don't you trust me?
You know about Polson's suicide? The same thing could happen to anyone else who double-crossed me. My watch tells me our time is up. I have to be going. See you soon, Carla.
To David Harding, Chief, United States Counterspies, Washington. Copy of report from Counterspy Attaché, Paris. Investigation of United States charity organization, World Refugee Fund, reveals that monies forwarded here from United States are deposited in Paris banks under name of Jean Lebeuf. There is no evidence of monies being used for relief of refugees.
I beg your pardon, madam. Is there any way I can help you?
This is Counterspy headquarters, is it not? I wish to see David Harding, and I don't need your help for that, young man.
Madam, you shouldn't be in this corridor at all. You'll have to be announced. That's the rule.
Rule. Government by bureaucracy. It wasn't this way when Grover Cleveland piloted our ship of state.
Who shall I say is calling?
I'll say who's calling when I get in there.
Very sorry, madam, but I can't...
Young man, remove your hand from my arm or I'll slap your face. Very well. Ruffian. An organization of ruffians. So there you are, David Harding.
Well, Vera Ashton, for a moment I thought a tornado hit the building.
We have an appointment, I think, David.
Vera, you haven't changed a bit. Now sit down and cool off that temper of yours.
David, I have a good mind to send a letter to the president about the way you run this office, and I would. If I didn't love you so darn much.
You're a sweetheart.
Oh, you're not fooling me with that sugar talk, David. Why did you ask me to come and see you?
Vera, I see by the columns that you're giving a charity party next week out at your place in Chevy Chase.
It'll make every other affair this season look sick. Countess Carla Maroney is my co-hostess.
And the proceeds are to go to the World Refugee Fund. Now, Vera, as a favor to me, I want you to switch your sponsorship to another charity instead of World Refugee.
David, are you mad? Why, Countess Maroney is making all arrangements. Her name on the invitation is a guarantee of success.
My agents, Vera, have been investigating all organizations sending money overseas for relief. Most of them are worthy groups, but we've uncovered a few exceptions. The World Refugee Fund is one of them.
Ridiculous.
Here's a cable report from our attaché in Paris. The World Refugee Fund is a phony front for a charity racket.
Countess Maroney should be told about this.
Our records show that every charity party sponsored for a World Refugee was arranged by her.
You mean then she should be arrested?
Oh, no. Just now, she's of much more value to us on the loose. Now, I'm interested in getting at the big brains behind this sleazy racket. And I've already started a trick to smoke him out. You want to help?
David Harding, that's the silliest question you ever asked.
Then I'll let you in on a secret. A big West Coast charity racketeer, George Walsh, is coming east to operate in society circles. His assistant, a fellow named Ralph Harrison, will be with him. And he's going to call on you, Vera.
Good heavens. Oh, David, is this another of your techniques?
Still can't fool you, can I? But seriously, Vera, I hope to trap that unknown racketeer behind Countess Maroney. And there's nothing like the assumed threat of gangland claim jumping to bring an unknown criminal out into the light.
But, David, what has a fight between criminals to do with me?
Vera, I'm making your charity party next week the battleground.
Mr. Harding, I found this memo from you on my desk.
Oh, yes, Peter.
Mr. Ralph Harrison has the 5 o'clock appointment tomorrow in the solarium of Mrs. Vera Ashton's home. What's it supposed to mean?
Just what it says. You will keep that appointment as scheduled, Mr. Harrison.
And now, Mr. Harrison, allow me to present you to my dear friend, Countess Carla Maroney.
Countess?
How do you do? Carla, darling, as I told you on the phone, Mr. Harrison is Assistant Director of the Federation of European Charities. Do sit down, both of you.
Sure.
Some tea, Carla? I can only stay a moment, Mrs. Ashton. You said you wanted to discuss something with me about our party here on Friday. Yes, well, you see, Carla, darling, Mr. Harrison's been showing me amazing figures of the work of his organization in the rehabilitation of war orphans. And he has convinced me that the proceeds of our party should go to his group instead of...
Mrs. Ashton, our party was arranged for the World Refugee Fund. Besides, the invitations are all out with my name on them.
Well, I'm sure the Countess won't mind lending her name to another worthy cause.
I certainly do mind. Mrs. Ashton, unless you go through with our original plan, I'll have a great deal to say about it in my newspaper column. Good afternoon.
Just a minute, Countess.
May I use your car?
Excuse us, Mrs. Ashton?
Certainly.
This way, Countess.
Countess, I want to talk to you about George Walsh.
Walsh?
Mm-hmm. He likes the way you work the angles. He's my boss. And he's ready to offer you double the percentage you get now.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Countess, we know you're in the racket.
Racket? What impudence?
I'm at the Crescent Hotel, Countess. You can call me when you decide to accept Mr. Walsh's offer. Hello, Mr. Harding Peters.
How'd you make out, Peters?
So far, so good.
Then don't come back at headquarters. Meet me in half an hour at Pennsylvania and 18th, okay?
Okay, Dave.
Hello? Hello?
Carla, this is Alfred Babson.
Oh, at last. When did you get into Washington?
About 20 minutes ago with Zero and the other boys. I'm stopping at the Hotel Newton.
I've got to see you at once.
What's wrong?
That trouble you anticipated. It's here, in Washington.
Hey, mister. Got a light?
Yeah, here you are.
Car in the corner, Peters. Mr. Harding's waiting for you.
Drive over the viaduct. Right, Chief.
Now, Peters, the New York field office has just come up with some interesting information. It may be the tie-in we're looking for.
Shoot. 3 weeks ago, a man named Steve Polson was killed when he fell or jumped down an apartment house elevator shaft. It turns out that Polson was a croupier at the charity parties for the World Refugee Fund.
Any evidence of murder?
No, but the penthouse of that apartment building is leased by an Alfred C. Babson.
Any dope on him, Dave?
No, Babson's a society playboy, and a checkup shows he's been an invited guest to all the parties. And he's right here in Washington. Arrived less than an hour ago. Harding, car 1, go ahead.
J12 reporting, Mr. Harding. Countess Maroney just went into room 907 at the Hotel Newton. Register shows room occupied by Alfred C. Babson.
Thanks. Peters, get back to your room at the Crescent. Now, if Countess Maroney's with Babson now, I think you can expect a phone call from her very shortly. I'll be most interested to know her proposition.
In just a moment, we'll return to Counterspy, brought to you by Pepsi-Cola.
Pepsi-Cola hits the spot. Truthful glasses, that's a lot. Lot more value, lot more zest. Why take less when Pepsi's best?
More and more, among fellows and girls, among mothers and dads, you hear that sane and sensible question, why take less when Pepsi is best? No budget, no allowance, ever had a better friend than tangy, sparkling Pepsi-Cola. Because one big 12-ounce Pepsi bottle gives you 2 delicious drinks. That's twice as much tangy taste, twice as much delicious Pepsi to go just twice as far. That's why more and more families say, why take less when Pepsi is best? Yes, families like yours and mine. Families all over America. They're all saying, why take less when Pepsi is best?
Pepsi-Cola hits the spot. Tastes terrific when you're hot. More and better than the rest. Why take less when Pepsi's best?
Today, tomorrow, always. Get America's biggest cola value. Take home a carton of 6 big Pepsi bottles. Insist on Pepsi at the store. And say Pepsi at the fountain. Say Pepsi at the stand. Say Pepsi. Whenever you reach for refreshment, remember.
Why take less when Pepsi's best?
And now, back to Counterspy. In a Washington hotel room, charity racketeer Alfred Babson and Countess Carla Maroney are discussing George Walsh's offer.
See, Carla, Walsh's offer is double whatever I'm giving you.
Alfred, I told you I can be trusted.
Boss, we better pull out of this caper.
Yes, Cyril? Why?
Well, we heard Walsh is a tough customer with a mob of guerrillas.
Maybe, but I'm not letting this plum fall off of my hands into his lap. Carla, the first step is for you to call this man Harrison and arrange a meeting right away. You'll take him for a drive across the river.
Why park here, Countess?
I want to talk to you alone, Mr. Harrison, about the offer you made me on behalf of Mr. Walsh.
You ready to switch over to the smart money?
I've been thinking about it seriously.
Can I tell Mr. Walsh it's all set?
Yeah, you can tell Walsh it's all set.
Hello, stranger.
Okay, Countess, go take a walk.
Yes. All right, Zero.
Nice dame, the Countess.
Look, Harrison, my boss has a proposition for your Mr. Walsh.
And what's the gun for?
Just to make sure you listen. Now, my boss figures there's plenty for 2 outfits in this territory. If your Mr. Walsh wants to play nice, okay. If he don't, then there's a lot of shooting.
And that means the law. And none of us make sense.
And it's a deal?
I'll have to talk to Mr. Walsh. What's his cut?
He and my boss can talk that over.
Where and when?
You bring Walsh to the Ashton Dames' big party tomorrow night. My boss will be out on the terrace. There'll be a white carnation in his buttonhole so you can spot him.
A white carnation?
You two show out on the terrace at 11, on the nose. Do you think Walsh will go for a setup like that?
Mrs. Ashton's party at 11. Chief meets your boss. Yeah, Zero. I guarantee you my boss will go for a setup like that.
All right, Zero, get going. What took you two so long?
Boss, I told you on the phone I closed the deal with Harrison, and I took him to where he could get a cab back to Washington.
And Zero had to pick me up again. After all, this is my car.
Very well. You keep driving around a while, Zero. This is the safest place to talk.
Has something new gone wrong, Alfred?
No, but I'm sure Walsh will try everything to put me out of the way. But this time, Carla, he's meeting his master.
No, Alfred. No more murders. I want to get out of this.
Carla, there's only one way out of this for you. The way Paulson took. Now, Zero, about the plan. This is to be timed to the split second. At Mrs. Ashton's house, there's a set of French windows which lead from the drawing room out to the terrace. Carla, at exactly 4 minutes before 11, you will go into the drawing room and switch on the lights.
Yes?
I want Walsh and Harrison silhouetted plainly against those French windows.
I see.
There's a row of bushes at the rear of the garden, 100 yards from the terrace. I'll jockey Walsh and Harrison into position in front of the window. At 11:01, I light a cigarette. Zero, that will let you know you have exactly 2 minutes to get ready.
I'll be ready.
At 11:03, my alarm will go off. You won't hear it, Zero, so keep your eyes on your own watch. At 11:03, you fire with the telescopic sight. 1 shot for Walsh, 1 for Harrison. And remember, both of you, timing is everything.
Dave, I've got something that could have helped us on this case.
And what is it?
Well, I took out specifications for a miniature camera to one of the best manufacturers in the country. Told him the camera was to be used as standard equipment for all counterspies. Their production engineer gulped a couple of times and put our camera on a priority basis.
Oh?
Well, here's a dummy model.
Hey, Peters. This certainly is a honey.
Mm-hmm. Simple to operate, sturdily built, and films can be bought anywhere.
The manufacturer really did himself proud.
He's even going to use a faster lens, for one thing, and the camera will be lighter in weight.
Oh?
When can we get these in quantity?
I'll phone him you're okay. He'll start deliveries right away.
Do it.
It's too bad we couldn't use one of these cameras tonight on this Babson case, Chief. It'd be just the thing.
Yep. I'm sorry, Peter. But make your phone call and let's go. We've got a bit of a ride out to Mrs. Ashton's house in Chevy Chase. What's the time, Peter?
1 minute of 11, Dave.
There's the Countess coming out of the drawing room. Now, Vera, your cooperation is of the utmost importance.
David, I'm worth any 10 of your agents. I'll keep that miserable Countess creature away from the terrace, all right. I'll talk her deaf, dumb, and blind.
Vera, I love you.
Well, I'd better get started.
Come on, Peter. Go out on the terrace. Fine.
Down there by the French windows, Dave. That must be our man.
Oh, white carnation in his lip now. Pardon me.
No?
You have the time?
Why, yes. Just 11.
We're on the nose, as Zero said you wanted it.
You, Harrison?
That's right. This is my boss, George Walsh.
Walsh, this is a pleasure. My name's Alfred Babson.
Babson, the pleasure's all mine.
Chief's been looking forward to this meeting, Mr. Babson.
Yes. And now, Babson, I'm sure I'm going to get just what I came for.
Walsh, haven't I seen you someplace before?
I've been seen a lot of places before.
Cigarette, Walsh?
No, thank you.
Harrison?
Thanks.
Lion?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Walsh, we'll have everything settled in less than 2 minutes. We both know what we want, and I'm a stickler for time.
I noticed that wristwatch of yours, Babson. An alarm on it. Nice gadget.
No, thank you. I had it made especially. Now, Walsh, let's hear your plan.
Okay, Babson. Here's my plan. Don't try to get out of it, Babson.
My arm.
The more you struggle, the more it'll hurt.
Oh.
That's a hammer hold that she's got on you, Babson. Keep it up and you'll have a broken arm.
That's better.
What's the idea of this, Caper?
Go on, Babson, over to the French window.
Oh, wait.
Move, I said.
But, Frenchman, we can't stand here.
No?
Somebody will see us. We'd better go inside.
We'll talk right here, and you've got only 60 seconds left.
60, Babson. Only 60.
You're right in front of me, Babson. When Zero shoots from those bushes down there, you get it first.
You know.
After the Countess made the appointment to meet my assistant, I had her car wired for sound. What I heard you, Zero, and the Countess say sounded very interesting.
Babson, 45 seconds left.
I'll be killed. Tell him not to shoot.
40 seconds, Babson. Now you're getting just what you gave Steve Polson.
I had killed Polson. I couldn't trust him.
35 seconds left.
Don't let Zero shoot. Stop him. Walsh, I'll give you anything you want.
Sounds as if you have an offer for me.
25 seconds, Babson.
Walsh, I'll clear out of the charity racket. You take over the whole operation. Everything. The Countess goes with it. You can have it all.
15 seconds to go.
Didn't you hear me? I'm giving you everything.
10.
No! Don't shoot! It's me! Don't shoot!
Now exactly 3 minutes past 11.
It's me! No! Don't shoot! Don't shoot! Don't! I wasn't shot.
No.
But that shot...
Fired by one of my men as a signal, let me know that everything down there was under control.
But Zero...
We got Zero.
And with your confession, Babson, the government closes this case.
Government?
Babson, while your mouth is open in that stupid gate, keep it that way. Mr. George Walsh here is David Harding, chief of the Counterspy.
That's right, Babson, and I can guarantee you personally, when the time arrives for your trial, the jury isn't going to show you any charity.
When your friends drop in, be generous, but be thrifty, too. Serve plenty of delicious Pepsi-Cola. Pepsi's big 12-ounce bottle gives you not just one sparkling glassful, but two. Get a carton of 6 and serve 12 delicious drinks. Yes, Pepsi is America's biggest cola value. You get twice the tangy taste, twice the refreshment, twice the Pepsi. So why take less when Pepsi is best? Whenever you reach for refreshment, remember,
Pepsi-Cola hits the spot. 2 full glasses, that's a lot. Lots more value, lots more zest. Why take less when Pepsi's best?
Tune in every Tuesday and Thursday, same time, same station, to Counterspy. Listen on Thursday for the exciting Counterspy case of the high-class hijacker.
Bottle of chloroform, drops of green oil, and eyes without a body, the result is unpredictable. Add these ingredients to a clever and dangerous underworld operation, and the result is action. That's our case for next Thursday, day after tomorrow. I invite you to be listening for
Case of a High-Class Hijacker on Counterspy. Tonight's Counterspy program originated in New York, was directed by Leonard L. Bass, dramatized by Edward J. Adamson, and featured Don McLaughlin and Mandel Kramer, with music by Jesse Crawford. Counterspy is a Phillips H. Lord production for Pepsi-Cola. Enjoy some Pepsi, ice cold tonight.
Pepsi-Cola, P-E-P-S-I. That's your smartest cola buy. Pepsi-Cola presents Counterspy.
Washington calling David Harding, Counterspy. Washington calling David Harding, Counterspy.
Harding, Counterspy. Calling Washington.
United States Counterspy, especially appointed to investigate and combat the enemies of our country, both at home and abroad. Tonight, the case of a high-class hijacker. Another Counterspy report to the American people. Brought to you each Tuesday and Thursday by Pepsi-Cola.
Pepsi-Cola hits the spot. 2 full glasses, that's a lot.
That's right. You heard what they said. 2 full glasses of sparkling Pepsi from one big 12-ounce bottle. You're getting an extra glassful. And what a delicious glassful. The most refreshing, delightful cola that ever tickled your taste. You can't top Pepsi's tangy flavor. And that big, big bottle saves you money. Goes twice as far. Pepsi's America's big, big favorite. And America's biggest cola value. So why take less when Pepsi is best? Whenever you reach for refreshment, remember.
Why take less when Pepsi's best?
And now, to Counterspy. It is approaching midnight. On a dirt road at right angles to a paved, steeply graded highway in Tennessee, a dark blue sedan is parked. 2 men sit in the front seat, waiting. Suddenly, the silence of the night is broken by the roar of a trailer truck climbing the steep highway. The thin man in the sedan flicks away his cigarette.
Okay, Fatso, let's go.
Hey, what's the idea, you guys? Hijacker.
That's right. Keep your hands on the wheel and sit tight.
Corny, you know I ain't that fast.
2 of you, huh?
Yeah, my pal's kind of slow on his feet.
Always running, always running.
Get the complaints, pal. Okay, driver, outside and climb down.
What are you going to do with me?
Turn around, Junior.
Yeah, but...
Turn around. Okay, Fatso.
Did that neat, didn't I, Corny?
Drag him to the side of the road.
Always I get the heavy work.
Good for you, Fatso. Helps you reduce. Well, we can take these masks off now. He's in dreamland.
Glad to get it off. Suffocate a guy.
Fatso, you take the car. I'll follow in the truck.
Oh, Corny, let me take the truck. It's a long walk to the car, all uphill.
All of 50 feet. Scram, Fatso. Start walking.
Oh, always I got to walk.
Washington from Counterspy Field Office, Central City. Truck operating in interstate commerce hijacked last night on Route 201, 20 miles north of Central City. Local authorities request Counterspy investigation on the basis of interstate federal nature of crime.
Joyce, the door. More guests arriving.
I'll get it, Mr. Midland.
Oh, never mind, Joyce. This is out of office hours. I'll play receptionist.
All right.
You see that our other guests have enough to drink.
Of course.
Hello, Mr. Midland. Hello, Cornelius. You're early. Yeah, it went like clockwork. Good. Go into the library. I'll get Joyce and we'll finish the paperwork. Right. Joyce. Oh, Joyce.
Yes, Mr. Midland.
I'm sorry, but a little business has come up.
Right away, Mr. Midland. You see, folks, that's what happens to a secretary when she attends the boss's party.
It won't take long, Joyce, in the library.
Yes, Mr. Midland.
Hello, Joyce.
Hello, Carney. I'll get my notebook, Mr. Midland.
Yes. A good haul, Corny? Yeah, sure. Soap, detergents, toothpaste, candy, regular items. I had Fatso make up a list.
Let me have it, Carney. I'll copy it.
Joyce, check off any items that we don't buy from regular sources. We'll make out purchase orders tomorrow at the office.
Right.
Now, Corny, I'm opening up 2 new drugstores in our chain next week. 2? That'll make a total of 14 stores. We're getting big. That means we've got to knock off more trucks to keep up with the demand in our stores. Okay by me, Mr. Midland. The more trucks I knock off, the more dough I get. That's right. Now...
Oh, Fort.
What's the matter, Joyce?
Oh, Fatso's handwriting. I can't read it.
Well, just try.
It's no use. I'll have to go out to the hideout myself and check this load.
All right. I'll drive you out.
Tomorrow will do. But from here on in, Mr. Midland, I think we should check these trucks ourselves.
Always the efficient secretary, eh, Joyce?
I believe in doing a thing right.
Then we'll do it right. Corny, on the next load, we'll be out there to check. What is the next load? A tobacco shipment via the Valley Trucking Company 2 nights from now. You and Fatso knock it off, and then Joyce and I will check it off.
Attention, Counterspy Headquarters, Washington, from Counterspy Field Office, Central City. Valley Trucking Company, interstate concern, reports hijacking of $40,000 tobacco load. This is the second interstate hijacking out of 14 all told in this area during the last month. Local police urge Counterspy intervention in this case. Counterspy Photo Laboratory, Haley speaking.
Haley, this is Harding. What's the situation on those new mini cameras?
They're coming in fast, Mr. Harding, and they're beauties. Small, compact, and they turn out crystal clear prints and enlargements.
Wonderful. Well, get up here with one of those cameras right away. We've got a headache we may be able to use them on. Statistical Department, Harding speaking. Send the modus operandi files on all hijackings for the last 2 years to my office as soon as you can. Chemical Division, this is Harding. Our data on black light and fluorescent pigments. Get it all together and bring it into my office. I'm going to have a problem for you technicians to solve.
Mr. Peters' office, Miss Trumbull speaking.
Miss Trumbull, where's Peters? I've been buzzing his private office. No answer.
Well, he went down to barber shop, Mr. Harding. I can get him for you.
Do it. Tell him I want to see him right away.
Hello, Chief. What's up? Why the rush?
Sit down, Peters. We're going to work on those hijackings in the Midwest.
Oh?
They knocked off a second truck interstate, so we're assuming jurisdiction now instead of just advising the local authorities.
Good. Those records you got on your desk from the modus operandi file?
Yes. Now, all told, there are 14 hijackings that fit the same pattern. Hijackers masked, trucks stopped on hills where they can't pick up speed, drivers slugged.
All in the same general area?
Well, more or less, they've been concentrated in these 3 Midwest states. Trailer trucks, 10 of them with built-in alarm systems.
Going to be tough to crack?
Well, maybe not. Now, I've got 2 jobs for you right away.
Shoot.
Well, first, you...
What's the matter there?
Well, what's the matter with you?
Me?
Well, there's something... You look lopsided. What's the matter with your hair?
Oh, that. Well, you wanted me to come up here right away. I was in the middle of a haircut.
Well, it didn't have to be that right away.
Okay, Dave.
Now, first, get down to the photo lab. Haley's got that slick new mini camera down there. He'll explain the operation to you.
Jack.
And go see the companies that make these truck alarm systems. We want to attach cameras to their alarms.
Will do.
Now, next, see Carl Palmer in the materials division. He's compiling a list of patent medicines and drugs that were hijacked.
Fine.
Now, you make contact with the manufacturers of those products. You see, they're required to keep a chemical analysis of each batch of their product as manufactured.
You want me to get the analysis of the hijacked batch if I can?
That's right. Report to me when you've obtained results.
Here, or will you be on your way to the Midwest?
Well, here, most likely, Dr. Boswell in the chemical lab is trying to turn out a permanent type of breadcrumb for us.
Hmm?
The Hansel and Gretel fairy story, remember? A trail of breadcrumbs? We're going to see if we can get the hijackers to leave us the same kind of trail.
I don't get it.
Well, you don't have to at the moment. Just get started on that stuff I gave you.
Right away, Dave.
Well, not too right away. Take 10 minutes to finish that haircut. Then get going.
Hello, Cornelius.
Oh, Mr. Midland. You come to check the load yourself, like you said, huh?
Yes. Everything go all right?
Yeah, Mr. Midland. In fact, I'll tell you.
Just double-checking. Pull the truck over to the empty van. We'll unload this one right away.
Okay.
Joyce. We'll check this stuff. It all goes to our Central City warehouse. Make out the bill of lading accordingly.
Yes, Mr. Midland.
Hiya, Joyce.
Hello, Carney.
Now, where's that big...
That's so. Probably fell asleep in the car.
No, I didn't. That's me. A long walk from the driveway. Always a long walk. Hello, Mr. Midland.
Hello, Fatso. We brought 3 men to help with the unloading. They're playing cards in the old farmhouse.
I'll open the truck and put them to work, Mr. Midland.
Do some yourself, Fatso. Good for that front porch of yours.
Now, don't you worry about my front porch, Corny. I'll take care of it. Always I do the work. Oh.
Always he complains. Always.
Corny, in the next few days, I want you to put on 4 more men. We're expanding our operations. They'll work in the northern part of the state around Norfolk.
4 more, Mr. Midland?
Yes, I want to buy as little as possible from legitimate wholesalers. Getting our product this way is much more profitable.
Okay. I'll dig up some real good boys.
Now, Joyce, you'd better...
What's that?
Holy mackerel.
That fool, he's broken the auto alarm system. Come on.
What happened? What did I do?
You fat moron. Joyce, the keys, have you got them?
Here, Mr. Midland. The alarm box is on the side of the truck.
Yes, I see it. That's so, you subhuman idiot. All your brains are in your stomach.
No, I didn't do nothing. Just broke open the lock.
Didn't you see the shield on the tailgate? Get closer so you can read it.
Oh.
Mr. Midland, easy on him, please.
I ought to kill him.
Easy, Mr. Midland. Hey, Muttonhead, read what it says on the shield.
Huh? This truck protected by CKY auto alarm. The alarm system is not under the control of the driver. What's it mean?
It means that we're lucky I had the foresight to anticipate this. If I hadn't picked a hideout here in the hills, half the cops in creation would have been down on us by now.
Always it's my fault, always. I'm sorry. Well, nobody told me.
What have you got a brain for? You can read, you prove that.
Okay, so I did wrong. Well, how come you can shut it off, Mr. Midland, when it says not even the driver can?
Because I have keys to the alarm system. Here, Corny, you take them. 3 keys. 1 for each alarm system used on trucks in this area.
Okay, Mr. Midland.
Have duplicates made for the new men that you hire. I want things set up so that we're knocking off a truck a day.
Back to Counterspy in just a moment. But first...
Pepsi-Cola hits the spot. 2 full glasses, that's a lot. Lot more value, lot more zest. Why take less when Pepsi's best?
More and more, among fellows and girls, among mothers and dads, you hear that sane and sensible question, why take less when Pepsi's best? No budget, no allowance, ever had a better friend than tangy, sparkling Pepsi-Cola. Because one big 12-ounce Pepsi bottle gives you 2 delicious drinks. That's twice as much tangy taste, twice as much delicious Pepsi to go just twice as far. That's why more and more families say, why take less when Pepsi's best? Yes, families like yours and mine. Families all over America. They're all saying, why take less when Pepsi's best?
Pepsi-Cola hits the spot. Tastes terrific when you're hot. More and better than the rest. Why take less when Pepsi's best?
Today, tomorrow, always. Get America's biggest cola value. Take home a carton of 6 big Pepsi bottles. Insist on Pepsi at the store. And say Pepsi at the fountain. Say Pepsi at the stand. Say Pepsi. Whenever you reach for refreshment, remember.
Why take less when Pepsi's best?
Now, back to Counterspy. Following David Harding's instructions, Harry Peters is calling on a leading manufacturer of automatic alarm systems.
Well, Mr. Denton, your auto alarms are certainly loud enough.
Oh, yes, Mr. Peters. That's why I think the hijackers drive these trucks to some backwoods section and break them open. Our sirens can be heard a couple of miles away once they're tampered with.
Well, the hijackers might have a key to your alarm system.
Well, that's a possibility.
A good one, too. That's why we want these mini cameras installed on the trucks separate from your system.
Yes, sir.
3 of them in each truck. Now, our photo lab has worked out a way to do it. When the truck doors are opened, each camera will take a picture. That way, we'll get 3 actual photos of the crooks breaking in.
Well, we'll be glad to inform you, Mr. Peters.
Pretty soon, these cameras will be standard equipment for all counterspies, but right now, we'll just want them installed in whatever trucks in that Midwest area use your alarms.
I see. Well, that's about 40 or 50. But there are other companies in this general area with similar systems.
Yes, I know. I'm going to contact them, too.
Good.
Now, Mr. Danton, when your mechanics install these cameras, please tell them only this.
Yes?
They're just an additional feature of your regular alarm system.
Oh, naturally. Mighty nice-looking job, these cameras. My boy would love to have one for himself.
Well, later on, Mr. Harding told me he wants them to be available to everyone. I'll let you know. Meantime, be cautious about it.
We'll be discreet, Mr. Peters.
Good. And let's hope the counterspies will be successful. Goodbye, Mr. Denton. And Mr. Frost, you do have a chemical analysis of the lot of your cough remedy that was hijacked.
Better than that, Mr. Peters. We keep a spectroscope card of every lot.
Color breakdown?
That's right, Mr. Peters. We take a sample of every batch we make. Then we throw a light on it, project it through a prism that breaks it down into its component colors, and photograph those colors for our records.
We want to make copies of that color card, Mr. Frost.
You're welcome to. If you can match it exactly with a sample, that sample will be from the lot that was stolen.
That's what we hope to do, Mr. Frost. Thank you.
Dr. Boswell. Boswell.
Yes? Oh, Mr. Harding. Wait till I turn this off.
How's it coming, Dr. Boswell?
Well, as you see, I've been working with this standard truck engine mounted on blocks. Mr. Harding, the problem's licked.
Good. Show me.
Well, here's the oil. I've impregnated it with a green fluorescent pigment.
Well, it looks like ordinary oil.
Well, look at it under our black light lamp.
Well, a nice, bright green dot.
Yes, you equip our patrol cars with a black light headlamp, and it'll pick up this spot on a road at 40 feet.
Well, now, have you worked out a way of dropping the oil for a trail?
Yes, sir. You see, just back of the oil crankcase, this can?
Yes, I see it.
Well, it has a hole in it and a shutter arrangement like a camera. The shutter is driven by a small electric motor and continually revolves inside the can.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this switch here, which can be fastened to the truck dashboard, controls the outlet in the can. The moment the driver switches it on, oil starts dripping.
Good. Good enough. Boswell, have 100 of these made up right away, will you?
All right, sir.
Mr. Harding, Mr. Peters is on the phone. Mr. Harding, Mr. Peters is on the phone.
Excuse me, Doctor. Mrs. Harding, put Mr. Peters on this line, please. Peters?
Yes, Dave.
How's it going?
Okay. I've arranged for the installation of the cameras, and I've got a color card on Dobbs' cough remedy, one of the hijacked items.
Oh, that's better than I expected. We'll have copies of it made and forwarded to all our field offices in those Midwestern states.
I've already done that, Chief.
Good. Also, send a TWX to our field offices. Have them buy samples of the remedy from every retail outlet in their area.
Right.
Then they're to make color cards of the samples to check with the card on the stolen lot.
Will do.
You meet me in Central City. We'll work out of our field office there, since it's the biggest city in the area.
Forwarded from Washington. Spectroscope analysis, Dobbs cough remedy reveals Midland Drug Store's only outlet handling the stolen batch here in Danville. Will continue report.
There it is again, Dave. Midland Drug Company. 9 times in 2 weeks.
And not another company in this whole area has had a single bottle of that batch of cough remedy.
Peters, call Joe Lincoln in our tax department. We'll set up some excuse to examine the Midland Drug Company's books.
Okay,
Wait a minute, hold it. Counterspy Field Office, Harding speaking. Oh? 3/4 of an hour overdue. You have a map of the route he was taking? Good. I'll be over at your office. I'll pick it up in 10 minutes. Goodbye.
Hijacking, Dave?
That was the traffic manager of the Valley Trucking Company. One of their trucks is 3/4 of an hour overdue in Danville.
I'll get out a police alarm on it right away.
Well, now, if the truck's located, tell them to call us in patrol car number 23.
Right.
That's equipped with a black light headlamp. Now, we'll follow the truck's route, and I hope the driver had time enough and sense enough to turn on that oil switch. See anything yet, Peters?
No, not yet, Dave.
How far have we come?
About 35 miles from the city.
Well, hey, that hill up ahead.
Yeah.
Look, Peters. A pool of green on the road up ahead.
I see it.
Come on. Peters,
This is it. The hijackers must have let the motor idle after the driver turned on the oil switch.
search the side of the road. See if we can find the driver.
Right.
Dave, here he is, out cold.
Is he all right?
I felt his pulse, just unconscious.
Well, radio the state police to pick him up right away. Then we'll pick up the trail of these oil drops and hope they lead to a real pickup. Not too fast, Peters. We followed the trail about 15 miles. They must be turning off the road pretty soon.
All right, Chief.
Wait, hold it. Stop.
What is it?
No more oil spots on the highway.
We passed a dirt road on our right just a few yards back.
Back up. They must have turned in there.
The road's getting worse, Dave. We may be getting close.
Better stop the car, Peters. I'll take the black light hand lamp and go ahead on foot. Now, I'll wave you ahead as long as I can follow the trail of oil drops. See, Peters? The fluorescent oil spots end right at that barn.
Then they doubled back where they drove the truck out again.
Wonderful hideout. An abandoned farm really in the backwoods.
There's a light in only one room in the old farmhouse.
Well, guns ready, Peters. We may need it.
Washing dishes. fatso. Always. Someday I'm going to tell that corny someday. Eat like pigs. The dish is so dirty. And they call me fatso.
What? All right, big boy. Take it easy and keep holding that dish.
He said keep holding it.
Who are you guys?
United States Counterspy.
Huh?
You're under arrest for hijacking.
Counterspies? How'd you find this place?
We might tell you if you tell us some of the things we want to know.
I don't do no talking.
Maybe not here.
Well, a ride may loosen your tongue. Get going.
Now, look. Let me get rid of this apron, huh? I'd look awful silly being arrested in an apron.
Okay, put down that dish. Get your jacket on.
At least that's one dish I won't have to clean.
There's a lot of dishes to clean in prison. And you could use the exercise.
Always cracks about my front porch. Even the cops even.
Skip the lamentations. Start moving. You've got a lot of questions to answer. All right, now, Fatso.
Car radio, Chief.
Yeah, I'll take it, Peters. Keep driving.
Garland, Counterspy Car 23, Mr. Harding. Garland, Counterspy Car 23, Mr. Harding.
Harding speaking, Haley. Go ahead.
Name of the Valley transportation truck that was hijacked. The local police found it abandoned here in Milton, a suburb of Central City.
Nice going, Haley. The cameras, have you checked them?
Yes, sir. I brought a portable development outfit along when we got the flash about the truck.
What results?
Plenty. There are 7 people in the photos. 3 men unloading the truck, a girl checking the load, a human blimp eating a candy bar, and 2 other men.
Any identification?
You haven't heard it all, Mr. Harding. The local police have checked the miniature photos, and they swear that one of the men is Mr. Midland.
Midland?
Head of the Midland Drug Company.
Okay, Haley. Get a squad of men together and head for the Midland Drug Warehouse in Central City.
Okay, Mr. Harding.
We'll meet you there. Just keep it under observation. Don't move until we arrive.
Right, sir.
Step on it, Peters. I'll have a little chat with Fatso back here. After what he's heard, I'm sure he feels a lot more like talking. Don't you, Fatso?
The last of the load's been put away in the warehouse.
Any items that we don't order through our regular channel?
Nope, all standard products.
How much was the load worth, Joyce?
Approximately $10,000, Corny.
5% of that is $500 bucks. Not bad for a night's work, eh, Cornelius? Yeah, I'm happy, Mr. Midland. Good. As we get bigger, there'll be more money in it for you. I hope so. Put out the warehouse lights, Joyce. We may as well leave.
Right, Mr. Midland.
We all leave together, Mr. Midland? Why not? Just an industrious boss and his equally industrious employees working overtime.
All right, Mr. Midland. All lights out.
Let's go.
Hello, Mr. Midland.
What? I'm sorry, I don't...
Know me? You will, Mr. Midland, you will. I'd like you and your companions to come with me.
Who do you think you are, guy?
His name is David Harding.
Harding? Counterspy.
Oh, my...
I don't understand.
It's no use, Midland. We've got the whole picture of your hijacking set up. In nice, clear pictures.
Oh, no. Corny, get him, Peter.
All right, Dave, I've got him.
But I don't understand. I had it all figured. My setup, my big organization.
There's one thing you didn't figure, Midland. The counter-spies have a bigger organization. Okay, Peters, let's take them along.
When your friends drop in, be generous, but be thrifty, too. Serve plenty of delicious Pepsi-Cola. Pepsi's big 12-ounce bottle gives you not just one sparkling glassful, but 2. Get a carton of 6 and serve 12 delicious drinks. Yes, Pepsi is America's biggest cola value. You get twice the tangy taste, twice the refreshment, twice the Pepsi. So why take less when Pepsi is best? Whenever you reach for refreshment, remember,
Pepsi-Cola hits the spot. 2 full glasses, that's a lot. Lots more value, lots more zest. Why take less when Pepsi's best?
Tune in every Tuesday and Thursday, same time, same station, to Counterspy. Listen next Tuesday for the exciting Counterspy case, of the photographed furrier.
When international complications were threatened because of stolen furs, your counterspies had to use a camera and a special cameraman. How this setup ran into an unusual obstacle that spelled murder will be exposed next Tuesday. Be sure to be tuned in for
Case of the Photographed Furrier on Counterspy. Tonight's Counterspy program originated in New York, was directed by Mark B. Loeb, dramatized by Palmer Thompson, and featured Don McLaughlin and Mandel Kramer with music by Jesse Crawford. Bob Shepard speaking. Counterspy is a Phillips H. Lord production for Pepsi-Cola. Enjoy some Pepsi, ice cold tonight.